Good evening and welcome to another edition of Georgetown Eagle Football. I am Kelly Duvall on play-by-play tonight, along with Holden Tuma, Dave England, Jory Erickson, and tonight we have a special guest helping us out in the booth. We have Maddie Erickson up here helping us with scoreboard stuff. We're excited to be here. For those who are curious and interested, Wally Harmon is out of town right now. He is actually working at a national level public safety softball tournament in Las Vegas. He's out there, and Jerry Ann is taking care of grandbabies tonight. So we are up here, and we wish Wally the best of luck in their softball tournament as well. But we are here tonight as your Georgetown Eagles take on the Rouse Raiders here at Gupton Stadium on a beautiful night for Texas high school football. And Holden, this should be quite a game tonight.
Absolutely, because on the surface you see a 4-1 team and then a 2-3 team, and you think, okay, edge 4-1. But this Rouse Raider group is a tough team. They've lost to 3 very solid opponents, beaten who they should have beaten, and they are a very good team. And you can't forget the last time Georgetown went out on a road game, it was at Leander, their homecoming, and they end up dropping that game in a little bit of an upset. So there's that in the back of your mind. How are they going to come out and perform under the lights Thursday night, not Friday this week? But it's going to be a big-time game here in Gupton.
Yeah, we're excited for a Thursday night game, not Friday night lights, but Thursday night lights for these Eagles and the Raiders tonight as we dive into tonight's ball game. On the season in District 8, 5A Division 1, the standings are like this. Cedar Park and Leander are tied at the top, 2-0 in district, both of them 3-2 overall, but they're in the first place position right now. And then there is a mass in third place at 1-1 in district. Georgetown is 4-1 overall. They are 1-1 in district. Eastview is 3-2 overall, 1-1 in district. Lake Belton is 3-2 overall as well, 1-1 in district play. Rouse is 2-3 on the season with a 1-1 district play. So that is the mass that is in third place, tied for third place, as everybody's fighting for playoff spots. And the final 2 spots in the district, the Killeen Chaparrals, 2-3 overall, 0-2 in district, and the Glen Grizzlies, 2-3 on the season, and 0-2 in the district as well. So tonight we bring in 2 teams that are battling to take over that second place spot alone tonight between, Rouse is not fighting for that second place spot. Georgetown's fighting for that second place spot tonight to try to take it and claim that second spot tonight. Holden, last week, complete blowout by Georgetown, one of the most complete games that we've seen in quite a while. And now Georgetown's going to have to fight that, hey, we can walk on the field and beat people. The players have talked about it. The coaches have talked about it, avoiding that. How important is that tonight for the Eagles?
I mean, it's everything. You saw last week 65-7, big victory at homecoming. But the week before, the loss at Leander, whenever we talked about maybe a little bit overconfident, the out-of-conference schedule went pretty well for us, big-time blowouts in all their opening games. They went into Leander and then got shocked. And so you have to always keep that in mind. Hey, we got back another blowout win. We cannot let that infiltrate our headspace, our mindset going into this game against a very good Rouse Raider team. They have to stay focused, have to stay coachable, and have to execute the game plan.
Yeah, on the season, I think Rouse's schedule or their record is a little bit deceptive. This is a good football team that Georgetown's going to be facing tonight. As I said a little bit earlier, their record on the season is 2-3, but those losses have come to some good football teams. 1-1 in district play there, 2-0 at home, 0-3 away. So they love the friendly confines here at Gupton Stadium. They started their season with a 57-10 victory over Pflugerville-Conley to begin the season, and that gave them something to build on for the rest of the season. They followed that up with a loss to Liberty Hill, 57-38. Played Waco Midway, lost that game, close, tight game there, 17-6. Then played Lake Belton, defeated Lake Belton 28-20. And then last week, tough loss to Cedar Park by 10 points, 35-25. So their losses have not been completely getting dominated with the exception of the game against Pflugerville-Conley, a very, very good Pflugerville-Conley team this year. But these losses have come to teams that have talent, and Rouse has a lot of talent on their side of the field.
Yeah, if you look at the Max Preps ranking, Georgetown's at 216 right now. Rouse is at 220. So there is very little disparity between these two groups. It should be a very even battlefield on the field tonight, and we should be in for a very good treat.
And it's that time of the season where the teams start to separate now. And after this week, third week of district play, we will start to see some of those results start to spread out a little bit and a little more sure footing. But I think this district battle is going to go all the way to the final week of the season in a tough District 8, 5A Division I. For Georgetown, they come into tonight's game 4-1 on the season, 1-1 in district. They're 3-0 at home and 1-1 on the road. Started off the season with a dominating win over Victoria East, 54-14, and then played at Belton and defeated the Belton Tigers 39-10. Faced Copperas Cove for the final pre-district game at GISD Athletic Complex and defeated Copperas Cove 44-8. They came out of those first three games with a lot of confidence, really excited about the direction they were going, and then had a little bit of a trip up against the Leander Lions. Came over to Bible Stadium and played Leander there. Lost to a very tough Leander team, 38-35 for their only loss of the season. Then last week, absolutely bounced back and dominated the Killeen Chaparral Bobcats, 65-7. So it's going to be really interesting. And when we start looking at the team's stats, like you were talking about just a little bit earlier, we start to see that these teams are pretty close. And Coach Griffin, you'll hear his interview here in just a little while. Coach Griffin talked about primarily their quarterback. 2/3 of Rouse's yards this season have come through the air. And he's not a quarterback that's going to tuck the ball and run a lot. He uses his feet to avoid pressure, find an open man. He's good at going down his reads and good at hitting the open receivers that are there. So that's going to be the challenge tonight for this Georgetown defense, making sure that quarterback doesn't beat you.
Yeah, exactly. And Georgetown's been pretty good at defending that throughout the season. They're allowing only 45% completion percentage coming into this game. They have 4 interceptions and only 3 pass touchdowns allowed. So they've been very good at the back end, but this is probably going to be their biggest test of the season. Can they stop this Rouse Raider high-powered flying offense through the air?
And we have seen Georgetown face some teams that have the ability, and really Leander was one that really was able to open up that air game against Georgetown. With this Rouse offense, they are averaging 300.4 yards per game passing. So they have had a lot of success in the air, 148.6 yards on the ground this season. They've had 1 fumble and 3 interceptions, so they do a pretty good job of taking care of the football. And that's going to be a challenge for the Eagles. They've dropped 3 but only lost 1 of those fumbles there. On the offensive side for Georgetown, they are averaging 196.2 yards per game, rushing 232.2 yards per game, with Jet Walker getting primarily most of those yards this season, over 700 yards on the season rushing for Jet Walker for the Eagles. They have lost 2 fumbles and had 1 interception on the season. So Caleb McDougall, the sophomore quarterback for Georgetown, has done a good job of running this offense and protecting the football. On the defensive side, Rouse is giving up 214 yards per game and only 176 yards per game, 96 yards on the ground. So Georgetown's opening may be with the passing game.
Yeah, but the big thing about this is that you always have to remember offense is 2 ways. You have to be able to run to throw, and you have to be able to throw to run most of the time. So you really need to focus on both aspects. Usually, except for like the wing T offenses of Liberty Hill, you don't win games being so one-dimensional. So they need to open up Jet Walker, obviously, in the running game, but really getting Caleb McDougall in an early rhythm, letting him complete some easy passes, get some confidence early. That is the biggest structure and the biggest way for the Eagles offense to really explode early.
On defense for the Rouse Raiders, they are giving up 214 yards rushing per game. We talked about that, 96 yards, 214 yards passing, 96 yards rushing. Either one of those stats can be skewed if somebody can get something rolling. The Georgetown defense giving up 167 yards per game, 164.5 in district, 124 yards rushing per game, 200 yards rushing in district. But those stats are slightly skewed. In the first 3 games of the season, they were blowouts. And a lot of the yardage that the first 3 teams were able to put on this Georgetown defense were on second and third teamers there, so those are a little bit skewed. Where we start to see some of, I guess you could say, the truth of it came with Leander. Leander had the biggest rushing night of anybody against Georgetown. So the challenge for Georgetown is going to be Rouse doesn't run the ball as well. their passing game is the heart of this offense. So stopping this quarterback tonight is going to be the key.
And obviously the coaching staff is aware of that too. They've gone into this game, and it's a short week, so not as many practices leading up to this. But they've come in here with the primary focus of stopping the deep ball. You have to prevent him from just airing it out every play. And if you start forcing them to run, which they're not comfortable doing, that is the recipe for success with this Georgetown defense. Additionally, when you bring pressure against this guy, getting him on the ground, that's been a big issue for these guys. They've really let the opposing quarterbacks break, contain, and scramble and create. They haven't been super punished outside of that Leander game, but that is a big deal coming into this. They've got to get the quarterback on the ground when they do send pressure.
And that's some of what we talked to Coach Griffin about in the interview that I'm going to show you here in just a couple of minutes, the importance of putting last week's game in the past and then focusing on this Rouse team and especially the passing game of this Rouse team. Here's what Coach Griffin had to say about last week's game and then tonight's matchup against the Rouse Raiders. Welcome to the Countdown to Kickoff, head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Kelly. Glad to be here.
Crew's really complete ball game against Chaparral Bobcats this past Friday. Give us your overall impressions of the team.
I mean, I was just incredibly proud of how they performed, how they responded to the week before, the challenges we gave them, what we asked of them, what we asked them to do during the week. And, man, they did it, and it showed on Friday. And they were very well prepared. They were ready to go. And, man, they kind of fired on all cylinders the other night.
You know, had to make you feel good after that loss the previous week. They came out right off the bat, just focused and locked in on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
I'd like to start with the defense. Those guys on defense just attacked the football, took care of their assignments. Talk about how this defense performed last Friday.
I mean, really how they've been performing all year. I mean, they just did a tremendous job of running the football, doing what we asked them to do, being where they're supposed to be, making plays when they needed to. Our D-line played exceptionally well. Our linebackers played well. You know, secondary played well, but they really did get challenged too much because of what was happening on the front end and what those guys were able to do. So, they did a great job all the way around.
Yeah, I think that showed too, because you and I had talked about their quarterback and the athlete that he was, but kind of able to chase him, bring in another quarterback just because of the pressure they were able to get there, and he wasn't able to set his feet and throw the football very well.
Yeah, it was a tough night on the quarterback, on all their quarterbacks, and I think we set the tone early. You know, in that first drive, Dylan Tuberville, we went a kind of a prevent deal because we had him in a long down situation, and Dylan Tuberville was able to get a big hit on the quarterback early on the game, and I kind of think that set the tempo.
I noticed in the game a couple of times, really only rushed two of the linemen that were down and got at least pressured the quarterback on those occasions, sacked him once with two-man rush. That front just played out of their minds.
They did. They played, all of those guys, Dylan and Tennyson. Andrew had a big night. Luke has been consistent all year long. Those guys all had a big night up front. Yep.
On the offensive side of the ball, I don't think you can talk about this ball game without talking about Jet Walker and what he's done at the running back position. Almost 800 yards on the season. Talk about his performance.
Yeah, I mean, just a tremendous job. Over 200 yards rushing, 40 yards receiving, but for a touchdown, threw a nice ball to get a 2-point conversion. He was all the way around. He came to play the other night, did a tremendous job.
Also, that front line, man, they just opened running lanes and protected McDougal very well. Talk about your O-line and how well they have performed this year.
They've been getting better and better every week. A bunch of newbies up there for the most part, just Sam and Brant are returning. So a bunch of newbies, and man, they're not newbies anymore. They've been doing a great job all season, and they're big and doing a great job getting off the ball, staying on the blocks, understanding what we're doing. From a protection standpoint, understanding what we're doing from a run game standpoint, and they're doing a great job.
Out on the edges, the receiving core, you're able to rotate those guys out. Lots of guys getting touches on the football, but two guys really stand out as receivers and did on Friday night. Talk about those receiving.
Yeah, Xavier Warren has had a tremendous year, and so has Devin Sedgwick. Both those guys, man, you got to go cover them, and you got to put people out there on them, and when you don't, they have the power to go the skill to go score. And both those guys did the other night with a touchdown apiece. And, I think we've actually had six different receivers score touchdowns already this year. So it was a whole core. Man, they're doing a tremendous job. And Caleb's doing a great job spreading the ball around, spreading the wealth, and making sure all those guys have a chance to go and score touchdowns.
How impressive has it been that Caleb McDougal, sophomore starting quarterback, he's not always locked in on that first read. He does a really good job of going down his progressions and finding the open receivers. Talk about Caleb and his performance.
I mean, he's just continuing to grow, continuing to get better. He didn't do a ton the other night. I think he's 14 of 19, 15 of 19, something like that on the night. And, so he's just not missing. He's putting the ball where it needs to be and how it's supposed to be. And it threw four touchdowns and those 15 completions. That's pretty impressive too. So, I mean, he's just growing and getting better and better every week.
He also doesn't, he takes care of the football very well too. Doesn't try to force things. And that's pretty impressive for a young quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. He's not panicked. He's doing a good job taking care of the ball, put it where it needs to go, and not panicking, not getting shaky, and doing well.
So this week we've got the Rouse Raiders at home, undefeated at home this year, but the running game's not there where they lean. It's that passing game. Talk about what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean they've got a really good quarterback. London does a great job. Man, he's hard to corral, and he likes to get back there and run around and drop back and keep running and move around and try to throw the ball down the field. He does a tremendous job. And so that's going to be our big challenge this week of putting pressure on him, making him make some poor decisions, making him throw the ball to us a little bit, being great. Welcome to the Countdown to Kickoff, head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, thanks for joining us. Go cover them, and you got to put people out there on them. And when you don't, they have the power to go the skill to go score. And both those guys did the other night with a touchdown apiece. And, I think we've actually had six different receivers score touchdowns already this year. So it was a whole core. Man, they're doing a tremendous job. And Caleb's doing a great job spreading the ball around, spreading the wealth, and making sure all those guys have a chance to go and score touchdowns. How impressive has it been that Caleb McDougal, sophomore starting quarterback, he's not always locked in on that first read. He does a really good job of going down his progressions and finding the open receivers. Talk about Caleb and his performance. I mean, he's just continuing to grow, continuing to get better. He didn't do a ton the other night. I think he's 14 of 19, 15 of 19, something like that on the night. And, so he's just not missing. He's putting the ball where it needs to be and how it's supposed to be. And it threw four touchdowns and those 15 completions. That's pretty impressive too. So, I mean, he's just growing and getting better and better every week. He also doesn't, he takes care of the football very well too. Doesn't try to force things. And that's pretty impressive for a young quarterback. Yeah, for sure. He's not panicked. He's doing a good job taking care of the ball, put it where it needs to go, and not panicking, not getting shaky, and doing well. So this week we've got the Rouse Raiders at home, undefeated at home this year, but the running game's not there where they lean. It's that passing game. Talk about what you're looking for. Yeah, I mean they've got a really good quarterback. London does a great job. Man, he's hard to corral, and he likes to get back there and run around and drop back and keep running and move around and try to throw the ball down the field. He does a tremendous job. And so that's going to be our big challenge this week of putting pressure on him, making him make some poor decisions, making him throw the ball to us a little bit, being great in coverage in the back end and being where we're supposed to be and taking care of keeping our eyes where they need to be and just continue to get better on the back end back there. So, they do a great job. Looking at some of what Rouse has done this year, London doesn't really seem to get too rattled, doesn't tuck the ball and take off running very much, but when he does, it's effective. He scored one touchdown on a run this year. Yeah. How difficult will it be to contain him and get him uncomfortable in that pocket? I mean, it's going to be difficult because he's so athletic. He moves around and it makes it hard. I mean, one of our defensive linemen tackling him in space is going to be difficult. That's going to be hard to do, and that's what he counts on. And he doesn't really want to run the football like down the field. He wants to run around until he can get somebody open and throw him the football. So he does a good job of that, and he's growing and getting better. And he missed a couple of games with an injury, but man, when he's out there playing, he does a tremendous job.
Rouse has only had, I think, 3 turnovers on the season this year, 3 or 4 turnovers on the season. So they take care of the football well. How do you pressure that kind of offense that protects the ball so well?
You just have to do it. You got to bring pressure and make them uncomfortable, and they're doing a good job up front. I mean, that's one of the reasons he's able to do those kind of things. And they don't have turnovers. They got a good receiving core. Coach Mann does a tremendous job coaching over there, always has, and he's doing a great job with those guys and getting ready. So this is a big challenge for us this week.
Defensively, what Rouse brings, what are the challenges with their defense?
They've morphed a little bit. Rouse lost both coordinators too last year, so they kind of are in the same situation as we are from a coaching perspective. And that they're going to defensively, they've morphed just a little bit and playing some different coverages in the back end, but they want to move folks around and bring some pressure and change things up a little bit front, give a different picture to our offensive line throughout the game. And so our guys are going to have to do a good job IDing the front, IDing where everybody is, understanding when pressure looks are out there and what those pressure look like and how to identify those. And so they just got to continue. Our offensive line's got to continue to grow. It's going to be a good challenge for them this week on that as far as that goes.
So in last Friday's game, which players stood out for you?
Obviously Jet had a tremendous night. Just almost 300 yards on his own during the night and 4 touchdowns and an extra point. So he did a tremendous job. Defensively, Andrew Urban had probably his best game as a defensive lineman this year and had 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss and a sack. Seth and Chance played tremendous. I mean, they combined for over 20 tackles, calls fumble, 2 calls fumbles and a recovered fumble between the 2 of them. And then Jaheim played really good in the back end with 3 pass breakups on the night. So Brent Hargrove played excellent up front, probably had his best game as an offensive lineman. And then I already talked about Caleb doing well and Jet doing well. And also Seth and Xavier and Ced both did a tremendous job as well. Kate Erickson was a surprise for us, did a good job. Not surprised, and we brought him up for that reason, but he did a tremendous job as a sophomore, having to step in and play a bunch of corner, and did a good job. And he completed a ball on him. So that speaks volumes of him, and just overall, our guys did a tremendous job all night.
After a game like that, it's kind of hard to pick out who all stood out because
for sure.
It seemed like everybody played well. Folks, head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Kelly. Glad to be here, man.
Gonna stick around. The countdown to kickoff continues right after this.
For all the fly fishing, hunting, and outdoors enthusiasts, River and Ranch Provisions is your one-stop shop for the gear you need. There's a large selection of hunting and fly fishing supplies for the beginner, all the way up to the experienced outdoor folks. Cody, Brad, Sam, and Tim have put together a high-end outdoor outfitter with high-quality supplies and services to make everyone feel welcome and important, regardless of your experience level. Come see what there is to offer at 807 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, or check out the website at www.rrpgtx.com.
And we welcome you back to Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, Texas for the game tonight against Georgetown Eagles versus the Rouse Raiders. For tonight's ball game, we're looking for a beautiful night, good weather, not a whole lot of wind, a little bit of wind, but there's a little bit that's there. And Holden, as we start looking at these teams, what they're going to be facing, what they're going to be dealing with, both teams are going to have some challenges, especially on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, both these offenses are very high-powered. Like we've talked about before, it's a big-time passing offense for the Rouse Raiders. Georgetown can beat you in both ways, especially Jet Walker. He's the headline guy. The defense is going to be reading him most of the night, and the Georgetown offense is going to be dictated around what the Rouse defense does around Jet Walker. So it's going to be a big chess match defensively to try to find a system, a formation that really works at defending what they need to, both sides. And I'm fascinated. I'm really intrigued. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it as well. And we welcome again back to the Countdown to Kickoff, brought to you by River and Ranch Provisions, located at 805 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown. We are your local source for premium hunting and fly fishing gear and apparel. Visit the website at www.rrpgtx.com or call 512-240-5520. River and Ranch Productions, the sponsor of the Countdown to Kickoff, and we appreciate all of our sponsors. Holden, as we start looking at the starting lineups for tonight's ballgame, we didn't get a too deep from Rouse, but there are some players that they need to pay attention to tonight on the field. No, the first primary player that you will probably hear a lot about is number one, the junior quarterback, London Morgan. And as we talked a little bit about earlier, very smart with the football, very good at buying some time with his feet. Not a big runner, but he's going to be the threat tonight for the Raiders. Also, the running backs that you're going to be hearing a lot about, Auburn Davis, wearing number 19. He's a sophomore running back, and there are three separate running backs that you really get. The Georgetown defense is going to have to pay attention. Davis is one of those. Anthony Reyes, number 24, the junior running back, and also a third running back. They've got a senior running back, Bryce Johns, wearing number 10 tonight. All three of those guys get about the same amount of carries, have about the same amount of yards, but it's their junior running back that has the most yards for them, and that junior running back is Anthony Reyes. He will be the primary focus on that running game. But, again, they spread the ball around very well over there. On the defensive side of the ball, kind of split as far as how much experience these guys have, but they've done a fairly good job against the teams that they have been playing. So with the team that the Raiders are going to put on the field tonight, they're going to have a big challenge, and that challenge starts with the Georgetown offense. Holden, our starting lineups are brought to you by Oak Ridge Disciple House. What are we looking at tonight for the starters on Georgetown?
Our offensive line, going to start with the right tackle, number 71. That's Caden Schurer. He's a junior. Right guard, 75, Brant Hargrove, a senior. The center, number 53, Ryan Castilleja, another senior. Left guard, number 52, Noah Faltasek, yet another senior on the offensive line. And left tackle, number 78, that's Sam Lopez. He is a junior. We got tight end H-back, number 81, Jake Mylock, a senior. He's a big red zone threat, big body guy. For the skill positions, we got wide receiver number 2, Davin Sedgwick. He is a senior. Wide receiver number 7, X-Man Xavier Warren. He's a junior. He's got some serious speed. Slot receiver number 15, Regan Terosian. He's a junior. The other slot at 16, Braylon Westfall, just a sophomore. Running back number 28, the all-star Jet Walker. He's just a junior. And that quarterback, headlining the whole thing, number 12, Caleb McDougal, just a sophomore, playing quarterback at Georgetown Eagle football.
And on the defensive side of the ball,
we got at end number 8, Tennyson Dean. He is a junior. Nose tackle 99, Luke Butch. He is a senior. Tackle 39, Andrew Urban. He is another senior. The bandit is number 38, Dylan Tuberville. He is a senior. At the linebacker spots, we got the Mike, number 6, Chance Kelly. He is a senior. The Will, number 9, Seth Warren. He's the leader of that defense. He is a senior as well. Sam is number 11, Cole Mitchell, just a junior. And the secondary, all seniors. Safety number 3, Luke Hawley. The other safety, number 25, Alex Wilson. One corner at the boundary is going to be number 13, Cooper Wirchin. And at the other side, corner number 5, Jakeem Dowd. He's a playmaker with the ball in his hands.
And on special teams,
we got a kicker, number 34, Christopher Mashburn. He's a senior. And our punter, number 16, Braylon Westfall, also the slot receiver, still just a sophomore.
And those are your starting lineups for your Georgetown Eagles tonight. Again, those starting lineups brought to you by Oak Ridge Disciple House. We're going to go down to Coach for a pregame interview with Coach.
We are live, Coach. Hey, Coach, what's the attitude today in the locker room?
Man, the kids are fired up. They've had a great week of practice, so we're ready to go.
Good. What do we expect from Rouse?
Man, they're a good football team. They're going to be extremely well coached. Quarterback's a great player, so we're going to have to shut him up tonight, kind of keep him contained. And man, they're good. They got to run a defense. They run a great defensive scheme, so we're going to have to block well as well.
All right. Good luck tonight, Coach. Thank you.
And Coach saying the same thing he's been saying for quite some time. Ready to go and ready to face this Rouse team. But again, your starting lineups are brought to you by Oak Ridge Disciple House. Quick message from them. We'll be right back to the countdown to kickoff, brought to you by River and Ranch Provisions right after this.
Struggling with addiction or know someone who is? There's light at the end of the tunnel, and it shines bright at the Oak Ridge Disciple House. As a 501c3 Christian ministry, they are dedicated to helping men aged 18 and older rebuild their lives free from the chains of drug and alcohol addiction. Be reminded, there's always hope, always a new beginning. Discover your fresh start with the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Proud supporters of Georgetown Eagle football, because just like the Eagles, the fight at Oak Ridge never dies. Find out more at oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
The second quarter is brought to you by Aesthetic Dentistry of Georgetown. The mission and purpose of our team is to help provide quality of life with healthy and beautiful smiles. Determine if a highly trained cosmetic dentist is the best option for your smile. We are located at 3622 Williams Drive, Building 2 in Georgetown, Texas. Visit our webpage at www.aestheticdentistrygt.com or call 512-819-9100.
And we welcome you back to the countdown to kickoff, brought to you by River and Ranch Provisions in Georgetown, Texas. This Eagle team about to take the field. We'll show you that. Holden, tonight, what are the keys to the game for you?
My biggest key, the number one key for me, is starting fast. Georgetown is outscoring their opponents 100-7 in the first quarter, and that's so important because as the game has progressed, that number has diminished and diminished and diminished. So Georgetown's really been good at getting off to a hot start, but they've not really been able to successfully keep that pace up the rest of the game. So they need another hot start, get the offense clicking, get 7 early, and then let the defense play in a comfortable spot with the lead.
These keys to the game brought to you by Graham & Sons Farm and Livestock. Holden, for me, the keys tonight. First, you got to establish the run. You got to get behind Big Jet Walker, let him run the football to open up that passing game a little bit. They may try to do some stuff on the edges with the passing game, but the running game is key for them tonight. You got to protect the quarterback, give McDougal some time to throw the football. Also, the defense has to contain and pressure this quarterback. Tight coverage on the wide receivers and sound tackling on defense for the Eagles. And your Eagles are taking the field as we speak. We're excited to have the Eagles come out, get ready for this kickoff. And a beautiful night here in Cedar Park. A little bit warm, but those things are going to change soon as well. So in our keys to the game, it's going to be very important for this Georgetown team to run their offense, not try to do too much to get started, but a fast start is important, and Coach Griffin loves getting the ball first, so we'll wait and see who has that. Once we get ready for kickoff, we will have 2 different camera angles. We got Dave up here in the press box running the camera for us here. Jory Erickson on the sideline down there, and also we'll get some input from Jory as we go through this football game tonight. So for Georgetown, the challenge is going to be stopping that passing game, and for Rouse, the challenge is going to be huge. And we are about to have, I think we're about to have the national anthem.
Yeah, they're down there at the south end zone.
Yeah.
This evening, the colors are presented by the Lone Star Company Navy JROTC. Color Guard Commander and Flag Bearer of the American Flag, Cadet Petty Officer McElry. American Flag Guard, Chief Petty Officer Hudson. Flag Bearer of the Texas Flag, Cadet Petty Officer Cisneros. Texas Flag Guard, Cadet Petty Officer Vanegas. Instructors are Lieutenant Colonel Chris Ross and Senior Chief Del Real. We are proud to honor our brave service members and veterans and their families for their dedication and sacrifices. Please join the faculty, coaches, and students of Rouse High School in expressing gratitude for their unwavering commitment to our country. Together, let's show our appreciation and respect for those who serve. Thank you for your service to this great nation. We now honor our country with the singing of the national anthem by Kinsley King.
And we welcome you back to Gupton Stadium, John Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park. And we bring you Georgetown Eagle football powered by Graham & Sons Farm and Livestock. This battle tonight between the Rouse Raiders and the Georgetown Eagles will kick off in about 2.5 minutes. So we are excited for that kickoff. And as we start getting ready for kickoff, Holden, weather's not going to be a big factor. Not a whole lot of wind, but there is a little bit of wind from our right to the left on the screen that you'll see there. So it could be a little bit of a factor in the passing game, but especially in the kicking game.
Yeah, I don't see a cloud in the sky from where I am, and so I don't think that any elements should come into play other than perhaps the kicking game. But Georgetown has not been a big field goal team so far. They elected to take a lot of fourth down chances last week rather than kicking, so I don't see that playing a huge factor. I think we should get both offenses at peak efficiency.
First quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Nathaniel Funk, your Edward Jones, Leander Georgetown financial advisor, located at 1640 Highland Falls Drive, Suite 801 in Leander, Texas. And we are going to go down to the field mic for the coin toss. No fieldman. All right, well, we will hear as well as we possibly can over the PA. We couldn't get the crowd mic out on the field. So we will wait for the determination to be made. Coach Griffin loves to take the football, so.
And it's interesting, too, because conventional wisdom has you kick it. And so both sides are playing right into Georgetown's hands. The only way they lose this coin toss is if Rouse wins and gets the ball.
And the coin toss has happened, kind of figurative. I think they do it actually before the game, but they go through the ceremony. It looks like Rouse won the toss. We'll see if they defer.
I think they did.
Rouse did win the toss, so they defer. So Georgetown will get the football to start off tonight's game. And again, this first quarter brought to you by Nathaniel Funk, your Edward Jones, Leander Georgetown financial advisor. And we thank Coach Funk. A lot of listeners who went to Georgetown, I say a lot, several listeners who went to Georgetown probably played football when Coach Funk was a coach here, but now he is in the financial advisement world, and we appreciate his support and all the support that our sponsors give to us. So Georgetown will be receiving the ball. Holden, Coach loves to take the football. Why?
Because it gives your team such an advantage when you go down and score. They have such faith in this offense, which is very high-powered and does frequently score on the opening drive. You get 7 immediately, and more importantly, your defense, when they come out the field, have a lead. So they can play loose, aggressive, because they have the understanding that it's not a tie game. They're not losing. They actually have the lead early, and they can play the game that they want to.
Georgetown and Rouse both getting ready for the opening kickoff. Back deep for your Eagles is number 3, Maddox Borden, and number 7, Xavier Warren for the Eagles. Kicking off for Rouse is going to be number 27, Connor Lyons. Connor is a senior and plays linebacker when he is on defense. So we are ready for tonight's kickoff. And the game is underway. And Maddox watches that ball go out of bounds, so penalty to start off, and Georgetown's going to get the ball starting at the 30-yard line. Holden, what is important for Georgetown on this very first drive?
They got to find a rhythm. You saw last week they found an early rhythm and got a huge win, 65-7 obviously. Getting them settled down, obviously a young quarterback, just a sophomore, letting him ease into the game, giving him some easy looks, and then build the confidence as the game progresses. That's the biggest thing you always want to do with the first drive.
And that flag on the kickoff will put the ball at the 30-yard line. So Caleb McDougal will bring the Georgetown Eagle offense out for its first drive of the night. The receivers are set. Tight ends are in close, tight formation. One receiver out wide. McDougal in the backfield with Jet Walker behind him. He hands the ball off to Jet. He bounces off one attempted tackle. Bounces outside for about a yard. So on the first play, it's going to be 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard gain by Jet Walker.
And that was probably the most predictable play call of the game. Georgetown coming out and running is going to be their bread and butter throughout the season, but they're going quick now.
Little tempo by the Eagles. McDougal's in the backfield. Walker off to his left. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. McDougal quickly throws out the number 7, Xavier Warren, out on the edge, and he is hit immediately and stopped there. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles after the 4-yard gain on the completion to Xavier Warren.
But that's exactly the type of easy throw you want the young quarterback to make. It's just a quick hitch, 4-yard gain, but it builds confidence, gets him in rhythm, sets him up for the future.
McDougal steps back with 3 receivers right, 2 left, empty backfield. Takes the snap and a quick slant, or a quick out on the outside. Warren's got the ball. He is across the 40, down to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, and he is pushed out of bounds. We'll see where the referee marks him at about the 17-yard line. So a good completion on 3rd and 5 for the Eagles. Drives down into the Graham and Sons red zone for a borrow from Morrow first down. Quickly back to the line. McDougal is back in the backfield with Walker to his left. Hands the ball to Walker. He bounces outside. Got a tackler trying to bring him down, and a good solid tackle out there on the edge to bring Walker down. That tackle was made by number 15, Reed Henson, on this Raider defense.
Yeah, going back to that last play, it was another easy completion on a quick slant, but when you've got playmakers like Xavier Warren, he just burst down the sideline, a good spin move out of the catch, but a heck of a play by the Rouse defender to chase him down. We haven't seen a lot of that.
Only a gain of a yard on that play, brings up 2nd and 9 for the Eagles. Man goes in motion, and a quick timeout by the Rouse Raiders there. They burned their first timeout, so we will take it with them. Your score, 0-0 with 10 minutes and 18 seconds left in this first quarter. A message from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Every first quarter this season is brought to you by Nathaniel Funk, your Leander Georgetown Edward Jones financial advisor at 1640 Highland Falls Drive, Suite 801, Leander, Texas 78641. Learn how he can help you with your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com/Nathaniel Funk for more.
The Raider coaching staff not liking what they were seeing, so they call a quick timeout, trying to keep Georgetown off the board. It's 2nd and 10 with 10:18 left in the Nathaniel Funk first quarter. McDougal in the backfield with Walker behind him, 2 receivers to the right. Receiver goes into motion. Handoff goes to Walker right up the middle at the teeth of this Raider defense. He breaks a tackle, and he is in for the touchdown by Jet Walker, a 17-yard scamper on 2nd down for the Eagles, and they are the first on the board tonight. They go up 6-0. Beautiful drive.
And that's exactly why you take the ball when you win. You lose the coin toss, and they give you the ball. But that's exactly why you want this. You get the early lead, 6-0, potentially 8 with this 2-point conversion, and the defense already has a lot of confidence to play with.
Jet Walker, amazing running back, and you're going to hear his name a lot. So they start off in the swinging gate formation, then come back to the traditional kick formation, and we've seen some trickery on that kick formation. Number 34,
Christopher Mash.
Yeah. Kick is up, and it is good. So that brings our score after the first drive by the Eagles. Your Georgetown Eagles lead the Rouse Raiders 7-0 with 10:11 left. We're going to take another break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Our first down sponsor this season is Borrow from Morrow. Borrow from Morrow, our team is dedicated to providing the best mortgage experience possible. We do that by offering easy-to-use mortgage tools, including our handy mobile app, competitive rates, and assistance from an experienced loan officer. Our loan officers understand the local markets, have access to a wide variety of loan programs, and are ready to guide you through the process. Your family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember Matt Morrow, Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148.
And we welcome you back to the JCT Memorial Broadcast, who brought to you by JMT's. Georgetown kicking off after the 17-yard touchdown run by Jet Walker. Kick is fielded at about the 7-yard line. Ball carrier is coming up the middle of the field, but a good tackle at about the 21, 22-yard line, and that's where the Rouse Raiders will start their kickoffs. Are sponsored by Syntex Shirt and Embroidery. Whether you need one shirt or 100, there are no minimum orders of any custom pieces. Call 512-818-1012 or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue in Georgetown. That's syntexshirt.com, and they are the sponsors of our kickoffs tonight. So the Rouse Raiders get the football for the first time. The junior quarterback London Morgan taking the helm tonight, and he has 4 wideouts to the left and 1 running back in the backfield with him. Kind of hard to see that number.
I think it's 19.
That's going to be Auburn Davis in the backfield with him. A quick swing pass out, trying to get around the edge, and he's able to get around the edge, but being able to fight off the block over there on the edge is number 11 for Georgetown, Cole Mitchell on the tackle out there, but a good 5-yard gain, and Rouse has a good start on their first play.
And it's a very similar thing you see with the Georgetown quarterback, McDougal. It's a quick pass to get the quarterback in rhythm, in the timing of the game, and kind of settle his nerves a little bit.
Morgan in the backfield, back offset to his left, hands it off, and they run right at the teeth of this Georgetown defense, but they are having none of it there. I think that was Dylan Turbeville on the first contact there, but then a host of Eagles surround and take down the ball carrier. Brings up a 3rd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
And a big 3rd down, too, because now Georgetown has a 7-point lead. You see the effects of getting the ball after that coin toss. Now, all of a sudden, an early spot, but a pressure spot for this Rouse Raiders offense.
2 wideouts left, 2 wideouts right for the Raiders. The clap sends the snap back. Quick pass out on the curl route to number 3. And that is Noah Fabella. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, for Beelan, but it's enough for a first down, and that is the Raiders' first down of the night on their first drive of the night. Quickly back to the line, 8 minutes, 38 seconds and counting here in the Nathaniel Funk Edward Jones first quarter. Morgan checking, make sure everybody's in place. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Lone running back in the backfield, and the handoff goes straight up the middle. Number 19, Bryce Johns on the carry. He's only able to gain about a yard and a half. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Raiders.
And like we talked about in the pregame, Rouse is not a great running team. And so the biggest thing for this defense is being able to stop the pass. We saw 2 carries so far, 3 yards combined, but they got the conversion through the air. So these DBs have to be sure they're on these receivers like glue.
And that running game hopefully is something they're trying to, or for Raiders, hopefully tries to open something up in the passing game. Morgan drops back, lobs one downfield, but the receiver can't quite get to it. A little too much on that. If there's a little more air under it, maybe a completion, but that one falls incomplete, and there is a flag on the play right around where you'd see a holding call.
Yeah, but that's a very common route concept there.
So this is going against the Raiders. Back them up 10 yards, and they will repeat 2nd down. So it's going to be 2nd and about 18 for the Raiders.
And being the pass offense, this kind of isn't a huge thing for them. It obviously 18 yards to go is a big deal, but they can get this in a hurry if the defense lets them get some space.
Davis in the backfield with the quarterback Morgan. 3 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left, and we will see that passing game now. He's looking for a receiver over the middle, and he was not on the same page with the receiver. I think the intended receiver was supposed to turn up the field a little bit. Morgan was motioning to him, so this brings up 3rd and very, very long for the Raiders.
Yeah, and there's 2 ways you go about this as a defense. You can either send pressure and force a quick pass and then rally to make a tackle, or you sit back, which they did last week and the week before. They sent 2 rushers and dropped 9 in coverage and make things super complicated. I think they're going to rush 2 here, it looks like.
Yeah, and they had some success last week rushing to getting to the quarterback. Morgan takes the snap back. He's got plenty of time dancing around in the backfield, using his feet to buy some more time. He's being pursued out on the edge and lobs one down the field into a host of Eagle receivers back there. Not a lot of chance for that one to be completed, so that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Raiders bring out the punt team. Good job of the defense stopping this first Raider drive.
Yeah, the biggest thing whenever you have the 2-man rush like that, you have 9 defensive players, so you know you're not alone in coverage. You don't have to panic, don't have to over-pursue. You've got other zone depth guys, but that was an excellent job staying in their assignments and then rallying to the ball once it was thrown. There was about 4 Eagles where that ball was end up landing. That's exactly how you want to play that structure.
Luke Holly, number 3, back deep for the Eagles on the punt return. 7:31 left in the first quarter. And the punt is away. Good high punt, spiraling punt. Luke Holly signals for a fair catch and makes that fair catch at about the 26-yard line. So the Eagles hold, Raiders punt, and the Eagles come back for their 2nd possession of the quarter. We'll stay right here in this change of possession, but it's important for Rouse to get a stop on this drive and not go 2 scores down.
And it's even more important because Georgetown is so good in the first quarter. Like I said, it's now 107-7 outscoring opponents in the first. They've got to get them off the field somehow, get their offense back up, and then hopefully tie this game.
Caleb McDougal in the backfield with Jet Walker to his right. 1 receiver left, 1 receiver right. And the handoff goes to Walker. He goes out to the left side. He gets hit right about the line of scrimmage, but able to break away and gain 9 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 1 after the run by Walker. Very patient run by Jet.
And he got tripped right as he burst through that hole. If he hit that full speed, we might be still calling his name. But, man, lucky break for Rouse that he went down there.
McDougal's checking the signals, and he relays those signals to his offensive line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 left. Walker offset from McDougal in the backfield. Walker goes into motion to the right. McDougal, quick swing pass out, but complete for a loss of about 2 yards on that play. And that reception made by Braylon Westfall. But again, a loss of yardage on that down, so it's going to bring up third and about 3.5 yards.
Yeah, and that's a sophomore on sophomore pass. So you see the kind of inexperience there. The veteran play, you see that going low, you just let it fall. You don't lose the yards because you know if you catch it, you're going on the ground and you're down immediately.
McDougal brings Walker up beside him. Man in motion comes to the tight end position, and Walker gets a handoff. He's hitting the backfield, able to stiff arm 2 defenders, turns the corner, and he reaches forward, but the referee on the far side is saying he stepped out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up 4th and 3, 5 minutes, 55 seconds left in the Nathaniel Funk Edward Jones first quarter, and Georgetown brings out the punt team. Successful stop there for the Raiders.
And that was excellent open field pursuit by this defense. They really shot the gap, expecting run. They got a run, but then they strung him out all the way. You see Jet Walker break that so frequently. Good job there to force him down.
So one of the Raiders comes off the field. Braylon Westfall back to take the punt. High snap, but he does a good job of corralling that snap. No pressure on the kick. A short kick, and it takes a Raider bounce. Bounces to the far sideline at about the 44-yard line. That's where the Raiders will take off. 5:21 left here in the first quarter. A message from our first quarter sponsor, and we will be back shortly.
Every first quarter this season is brought to you by Nathaniel Funk, your Leander, Georgetown, Edward Jones financial advisor at 1640 Highland Falls Drive, Suite 801, Leander, Texas 78641. Learn how he can help you with your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com/Nathaniel Funk for more.
And we welcome you back to the sound. Sorry about that. First down and 10 for the Raiders. The handoff goes to the right side, but corralled over on that right side. Tackle made out there by number 38 for your Eagles, and that is Dylan Turbeville on a good open field tackle to keep the ball carrier to a single-yard gain.
And going back to that last sequence, 3rd and 5 is where this Rouse offense wants to live, that 3rd and medium, 3rd and short, because you can run it even if you're not super successful for short yardage, but you can also throw it and you don't have to chuck it deep. It can be a short gain like we saw the screen pass, quick throw, and then go down the sideline, get a first down.
Morgan waiting for the snap, 9 seconds on the play clock. Fakes the handoff, is getting some pressure in the backfield. We see his athleticism there of avoiding tackles, swings way out to the left and just throws the ball away, live to fight another day. Morgan unable to do anything back there in pressure. 3 or 4 guys, but in particular Seth Warren and Tennyson Dean back there causing that throw to go awry.
It looked like some kind of screen just because of how quickly the defensive line got on him, but someone was not on the same page, wasn't ready for it, and yeah, the quarterback running for his life there, and he did the smart play throwing it away. I thought he would try to force it downfield and make a questionable throw, but a veteran move. Now we got 3rd and long.
3rd and 9 for the Raiders, 3:46 left in the first quarter. Morgan waiting on the snap. He's looking to his right, getting some pressure, and again, he ducks it, but not able to get away from, who was it, number 9?
Seth Warren.
Seth Warren, able to corral the quarterback for a loss of about 7 or 8 yards. So that brings up 4th down and 15, and the punt team comes out for the Rouse Raiders. They have the ball at Georgetown's 45, but not able to do anything after they crossed midfield. Got down to about the 40, but got backed up on that tackle there for a big loss. So 4th and 15, just over 3 minutes left in the quarter. Kick is away. Nice high punt. Not able to do anything with it back there. So it is a turnover after the punt. Georgetown will begin at about their own 10-yard line. We will be back for more Georgetown Eagle football right after this.
Jason Chance Tompkins Memorial Broadcast Booth is brought to you by JMTs. JMTs provides custom apparel and promotional items to small businesses, schools, and nonprofit organizations. Our services include screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items. Our game-changing direct-to-film printing allows JMTs to print full-color graphics on your garments. JMTs has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit our website at jmts.com or call us at 512-388-5555.
And we welcome you back. Georgetown Eagle football at Gupton Stadium. McDougal takes a handoff, hands it to Walker. He bounces off the left side, able to get between the tackle and the guard on that left side. Makes an 11, 12-yard run, and that is a borrow from Morrow. 1st down for the Eagles.
And he took someone's helmet with him. Number 0 made the tackle but lost the helmet on the way down, so he's going to have to come out for one play.
Borrow from Morrow sponsors our 1st downs for your mortgage needs. Remember, Matt Morrow, Borrow from Morrow, www.borrowfrommorrow.com. And it's a 1st down for the Eagles at the 22-yard line. Walker gets the handoff, takes it outside, able to get around the edge and gains about 10 yards. I think he gets enough for another Borrow from Morrow 1st down. And Jet Walker picking up where he left off from last Friday.
Yeah, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. So they're going to keep feeding him until Rouse can prove they can stop that, in which case they'll start leaning more on the play action pass.
I had one of my keys to the game was establish this running game, and that's happened so far. 1st down for the Eagles at their own 32-yard line. McDougal takes a snap back and hands it off to Walker again off the left side, bounces off of one tackle, motors over the safety back there, and again, 3 running plays, 3 straight 1st downs for the Eagles.
He's up to 8 carries, 60 yards, obviously that touchdown, and I wouldn't be shocked if they just give it to him again.
218, 217 and counting. McDougal takes fakes the handoff to Walker, swings it out to his 2nd man out there on the edge. That's number 2, Davin Sedgwick, able to do a little bit of something out there. Pretty good coverage out there by the Raiders on that play. I think he was looking long, Holden, for that deep pass, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, they tried to hit him with a double move, like a fake screen, and then the slot guy runs a wheel down the field, but good coverage there. Tried to catch the defense sleeping. They were fully awake.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles at the 47-yard line. McDougal looks out to his left, and he has Sedgwick out there. Devin is able to get past the 1st down marker down to about the 45-yard line of the Raiders, and that is another Borrow from Morrow 1st down for your Georgetown Eagles.
And they're loosening up the edges right now. You saw a couple big runs by Jet Walker, and then they're slinging it to the outside. You're saying, hey, this defense, you have to still cover these edges, because even if we have Jet Walker going for 8 yards a carry, we have outside threats too, and they can make plays with the ball.
And if that defense comes in too much, then the running game. 1 receiver right, 1 left. Walker in the backfield with McDougal. And, that's 23. Spelling Walker. Elijah Callaghan on the run there, and he does a good job waiting patiently for his blocks. He's able to gain about 7 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 3, 1:45 left in the quarter.
And we're talking a lot about these running backs. This offensive line right now is playing very well, both pass-wise and run-wise, creating some big gaps for these running backs to go through.
2nd down and 3 for the Eagles at the 38-yard line. McDougal in the backfield, 3 receivers to the right. He fakes the handoff up the middle, and he keeps it. Runs out, slides, gets past the 1st down marker, slides very smartly so he doesn't get drilled out there. But that is another Borrow from Morrow 1st down.
And there's nothing more frustrating to a defense than a quarterback scramble. You have everything boxed up, nowhere to run, nowhere to throw, but then the QB just pulls it and takes off, gets a 1st down. That's very demoralizing for a defense.
Georgetown on the move right now, 1 minute, 23 seconds. The clock should be running, but it is not. Right, there we go. It's started now. Just under a minute 20 left in this first quarter. McDougal takes the snap, and he is looking to his left. Throws it between a couple of receivers. Not sure where he was trying to go with that football, but it falls harmlessly between two Eagles and two Raider defenders out there.
I think he was expecting Jet Walker to break it to the outside. He had a man-on-man matchup, and that was the open zone. I think he kind of thought Walker would drift there, but Walker stayed steady on the route, didn't budge, so the ball falls harmlessly incomplete.
Plenty of time for the Eagles. The play clock's just now under 20 seconds. McDougal checking signals, checking his personnel. Snap comes back, and he hands the ball off to Walker, who takes off around the right side, and Walker is gone. They are not going to get him. An incredible 34-yard run. Incredible because he was never touched and able to find the end zone again for his second touchdown of the night. And your Eagles take the lead 13-0 with 1:04 left in the quarter.
Yeah, it was an excellent run play, but you have to give credit to this offensive line. Again, not touched. He got to accelerate, got to top speed, and then got through the hole. We talk a lot about his power right there. You see the quickness, bolted down the field, untouched touchdown.
Georgetown doing what they do on the extra point. Extra point attempts are brought to you by G-Town Lumber and Supplies. Another one of our fine sponsors. Mashburn in. Kick, snap is back, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 1:04 left in the first quarter, the Nathaniel Funk, Edward Jones first quarter, Georgetown leads the Rouse Raiders 14-0. Back right after these messages.
Every first quarter this season is brought to you by Nathaniel Funk, your Leander, Georgetown, Edward Jones financial advisor at 1640 Highland Falls Drive, Suite 801, Leander, Texas 78641. Learn how he can help you with your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com/Nathaniel Funk for more.
Welcome back to Georgetown Eagle football, powered by Graham & Sons Farm and Livestock. Georgetown leading the Raiders 14-0 with 1:04 left in the quarter. Kicking for Georgetown is Mashburn. Low line drive kick that bounces about the 10-yard line and is fielded there. Ball carrier is able to get around the first defender, but gets up to about the 24-yard line, and 25-yard line is where he's marked out. 57 seconds left in this first quarter, and the Raiders will begin this possession there.
And this has been the exact first quarter Georgetown wanted. Their offense is in an early groove. It's easy to get a groove when you've got Jet Walker running like he has been. He's got 9 carries, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns already in this first quarter, picking up right where he left off. He is on a heater right now. Last week before that, and now this one, 3-game stretch, he's been a very elite factor on offense.
1 or 2 more runs, and he'll be over that 100-yard mark, and we're not quite through the first quarter yet. That's a pretty good night in and of itself in one quarter. Morgan in the backfield has a running back to his left, 1 receiver right, 2 left. Handoff goes off to the left side, but the Eagles are able to smother it. A lot of silver helmets around the football there. Short gain of about a yard, so that's going to bring up second and 8. We'll call it second and 8 for the Raiders. Rouse not really able to get anything going right now on offense, so they're looking for something to change. Offensive line hasn't been able to do much because Georgetown's able to get some pressure back there, but Morgan steps back into the shotgun formation, running back off to his left. He rolls out to his left, and he's looking for a couple of receivers out there, but overthrows the receiver on the edge, number 4, and that is Leland Smith out there, but that ball goes out of bounds. That brings up 3rd and long, pretty deep in Raider territory.
And you see the effect of this Georgetown offense right now, because now the Raiders are trying to play catch up. They're moving the pocket, rolling him out, a tough on-the-run throw, and he misses him.
Morgan takes the snap, and a quick pass out to the left side, but not much there. That's going to bring up 4th and 3 now. And it looks like, nope, they're bringing out the kick team, so it looks like the Raiders are going to kick the ball away. And this Georgetown Eagle defense, just like Jet Walker, has picked up where it left off last week. So that takes us to the end of the first quarter with your score, Georgetown 14, Rouse nothing. And we will return to Georgetown Eagle football right after this.
The second quarter is brought to you by Aesthetic Dentistry of Georgetown. The mission and purpose of our team is to help provide quality of life with healthy and beautiful smiles. Determine if a highly trained cosmetic dentist is the best option for your smile. We are located at 3622 Williams Drive, Building 2 in Georgetown, Texas. Visit our webpage at www.aestheticdentistrygt.com or call 512-819-9100.
Punt team on for the Raiders. And that kick, another good kick, kicked away from Luke Holly back there, and he lets it bounce. The Raider defenders watch it go out of bounds just outside the Georgetown 30-yard line. So Georgetown will start there, 11:49 left in this Aesthetic Dentistry of Georgetown second quarter. Holden, what's the challenge now for the Raiders?
You've got to play aggressive at this point. The Eagles already have an early first two-possession lead. They're killing you on the ground game. You gotta have to start loading the box and force McDougal to beat you in the air, because you cannot let Jet Walker run all over you. It's going to be a very long night for this Rouse Raiders defense if they continue letting him get 10 yards a pop.
Caleb McDougal in the backfield, running back offset to his left, two receivers left, one right. McDougal takes a snap, hands the ball off, and right up the middle, running back starts to the right, cuts back to the left, and that's a good gain, and that was number 35. I actually don't have him on the roster.
Stop made by number 15, Reed Vincent.
It might be Corbin Carroll. He was a recent call-up, I believe, to the varsity level.
Okay.
But he is not on either of our rosters.
Yeah, we did not have the updated roster with a couple of players that got called up. But McDougal in the backfield and the familiar Jet Walker behind him. Fakes the handoff to Walker. Quick swing pass out to the right. Good block out there on the right, and that ball is advanced almost to midfield to about the 47-yard line of Georgetown. On that catch was Braylon Westfall, and that's enough for a borrow from Morrow first down for the Eagles. Quickly back to the line, fakes the handoff up the middle. Ball goes deep and almost picked off. Again, intended for Westfall out there on the edge. But the safety came up, was able to knock that away. Almost was able to pick it up, but we do have a flag on the play.
Number 75, 15-yard penalty.
Sound like a personal foul. I'm not sure which one.
Not sure what that personal foul, but that call
15-yard penalty will make it
was actually, did he say 35?
from the 33-yard line.
I couldn't tell what number he had it, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Didn't hear the call, but that's going to back the Eagles way up, and it is now 1st and 25, 10:58 left in the Aesthetic Dentistry of Georgetown's second quarter. Seems like some confusion, but now McDougal backs up as Jet Walker behind him, two receivers left and two to the right.
And
Don't know. There's a little conversation going on with the referees.
Yeah, they might be discussing spot. I'm not totally sure, but defensive structure-wise, you see how Georgetown is spreading them out wide. They're opening up the middle for a potential dive to Jet Walker straight up the gut.
Walker goes offset to McDougal's left. Again, two receivers both sides. McDougal takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Walker, and fires a shot over the middle, but Xavier Warren unable to corral that pass, and that ball had some zip on it from McDougal, and Warren unable to corral that ball in. Had a little bit of running room, but good defense there by the Raiders.
Yeah, it was a great throw, hit him right in the hands, but 21 was all over it. Great job with the knockout, because otherwise it's a big chunk play, and Georgetown's right back in striking distance for this first down.
So the Eagles 3rd and 25, and I don't know what you pull out of the playbook for a 3rd and 25, but Jet Walker may not be the plan on this particular play. McDougal's in the backfield. Walker to his left. He hands it off to Walker. He starts up the middle, but bounces it out to the right, and then trucks one of the cornerbacks out there on the left, and a flag comes in on that play. Could be a hold out there on the edge. And that's what it is. Hold out there on the edge for the Eagles. So that's going to back them up even farther and make it. They may decline this one.
Yeah, I was going to say it's actually 2nd and 25. The down marker on the field is incorrect. But even still, this would be a 3rd and about 23 if they decline. So I imagine they're going to take their chances.
We'll see if the Raiders coach wants to give them another opportunity with an extra down. Coach Griffin asking the referees about what was going on there, but and now a lot of confusion on the field.
Nobody's on the same page.
Back judges came running in, so trying to get things sorted out here with 10:42 left in the Aesthetic Dentistry 2nd quarter.
I wonder if they're trying to figure out what down it is. Because I had it on 2nd because that personal foul penalty shouldn't have counted as a play on the field, which would have extended it to 2nd down. But the down marker on the field switched it to 3rd, and that might have caused some confusion. Or maybe I'm wrong. I could have missed a play. That's probably what they're discussing. I have to imagine, because I'm not sure what else would be this kind of every referee in the middle kind of conversation.
We'll see. This is taking quite some time, so lots of time to plan. 3rd and 25 potentially. And more conversation taking place, so we are going to wait and see.
So what would your call be on 3rd and 23 or so?
I'm going to decline it, but that's why I'm in the booth, not on the sideline coaching football.
Yeah, I think I would do the same thing. Just you never want to run too many risks of giving them a penalty on defense and letting them have an automatic first down. But it's going to be interesting because the farther back you go, Georgetown's not been super effective punting the ball, and so field position is going to be a big deal for this team.
Whatever the referees are telling head coach Joshua Mann, he's not particularly fond of the words they have to say, but we're getting reset, sort of. Now we can't figure out where the ball is going to be spotted. It should be back about the 23-yard line. And that's where the umpire sets the ball. So 10:42 left in the 2nd quarter. They do step off the penalty, so they accepted the penalty. It's going to be 2nd and 35 for the Eagles.
And I have to imagine you're going to give it to Walker twice. I mean, you have a decent chance to just break it to the end zone anyway, but you don't want to give an obvious passing down, let him drop back right and play right into the defense's hands. Let them play their style of offense, which is giving the ball to Jet and letting him make a play.
So we are just about to say we're ready for play, but we are not, because the officials are going to have some more conversation, maybe making plans for after the game, exchanging recipes, something. And it would be really interesting. Maybe Jory could run out into the middle of the field with a microphone. Don't do that, Jory. But this has really slowed the tempo of this game down.
No doubt. I wouldn't say this really favors either side, the slowdown, granted just because of what the field position is right now, 2nd and 35. It's not like Georgetown was going tempo, but still, this is definitely a momentum killer because it lets everyone settle down.
Now we're going to go back and talk to Coach Griffin, and both coaching staffs are not enjoying this, nor are the players on the field, so they're going to huddle up and gather up, and you never know how long this is going to go. Could have had a commercial through all this, or 3 commercials through all this, but
I might have to ask him at halftime what this whole situation was about, just because we can't hear, so we don't know what they're saying or what they're confused about.
we are still at 10 minutes, 42 seconds left in the aesthetic dentistry second quarter.
We've probably been here for 10 minutes, 42 seconds.
No, I know.
Monday nights at 6 p.m. live from Red Horn.
See, like,
just play rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I mean, again, my whole thing is, like, if this is a discussion about the downs, it's second. It's not too complicated because the penalties aren't a loss of down. And now they're pulling both teams to the sidelines. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So we will take a break while they get this sorted out. Stick with us here for Georgetown Eagle football, powered by Graham & Sons Farm and Livestock. We'll be back in just a few minutes to Gupton Stadium.
Kickoffs this season are sponsored by Syntex Shirt and Embroidery. At Syntex Shirt and Embroidery, we offer a variety of unique custom clothing and gifts, as well as personalized embroidery for gifts, schools, fundraisers, businesses, and more. Stop in today to browse what we have to offer and to ask about our custom apparel options. Whether you need 1 shirt or 100, there are no minimum order amounts on any custom pieces. Ask about our military discounts as well. Stop by our shop at 1911 North Austin Avenue, Suite 103, and check out our in-stock spirit apparel, or check out our website at www.syntexshirt.com.
The official outfitter of your Georgetown Eagles broadcast team with First Responder Broadcasting.
Welcome you back to John Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park. Georgetown leads the Rouse Raiders 14-0 with 10:42 left in the second quarter. I think they finally have things sorted out.
They're definitely spreading out the field, like they're not going to come together, but I half expect them to blow it dead and then talk again.
So the decision has been made. It is 3rd and 35 for the Eagles. Walker in the backfield with McDougal, 3 receivers to the left. Handoff goes to Walker, and he is wrapped up immediately in the backfield by a Raider defender, and that's something you don't see a lot of. Jet Walker getting stopped for loss, and in on that tackle looks like number 18, Trey Mays for the Raiders.
Now, that was a big-time stop for the Rouse Raiders defense because they really needed to get off the field, which they did thanks to a couple penalties by Georgetown. And now they're going to be right back in this game if their offense can start producing.
It is 4th and Liberty Hill for the Eagles right now. Snap goes back to the punter, and he kicks the ball away. Kind of a short, low kick that bounces at about the 47-yard line, and a good Georgetown Eagle roll, and that ball rolls out of bounds right around the 35-yard line. So Rouse will start there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Georgetown Eagle football right after this.
Hey Georgetown, there's a new place to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and it's on the beautiful square in downtown. It's Goldberger Diner. When you walk into this 50s style diner, you're greeted with a smile, greeted like your family. Sit at the counter, a table, or a booth and get ready for an old-fashioned dining experience like no other in Georgetown. Enjoy tasty breakfast or come later for a burger, chicken fried steak, or even the Southern classic liver and onions. There's so much to choose from. Goldberger Diner is located at 109 West 7th Street in downtown.
On first down, the Raiders are able to complete a pass out to the right side. gain of 8. It's going to be 2nd and 2 with 9:42 left in the second quarter. And Rouse trying to get something to go on offense. They haven't had a lot of success. Morgan in the backfield, running back to his right. 2 receivers out each side. Pump fake, and the receiver goes long. That's number 5, and he is able to make the catch. If he could have kept his feet, that's an even longer gain. But number 5 out there on the edge, Sean Nolan making the reception. Long reception and a first down into Georgetown Eagle territory at about the 38-yard line of Georgetown.
Yeah, it's a similar concept that Georgetown tried to run earlier in the game, but it was well defended. This time, they bite on the fake screen, let the wheel route go open, and lucky he fell down.
Morgan takes the snap, and he is looking to his left, but he's getting some pressure. Looked almost like they were trying to set up a screen, but didn't quite work that way, and I think the Eagle defenders were just able to get back so fast it looked like they were setting up a screen. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 with 9 minutes, 10 seconds left in the Aesthetic Dentistry second quarter.
And that's probably the 3rd or 4th time that I've seen this defensive line just completely break through this offense. They're going to have to start shoring up this offensive line, giving this quarterback protection and time to throw the ball downfield.
Receiver goes in motion to the left, and Morgan rolls out to his left. He's got a receiver open right around the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it. If it's enough for the first down, looks just a little bit short. So it's going to be 3rd and about half a yard. We'll call it 3rd and 1. And Rouse finally has something going a little bit deep, getting deeper into Georgetown territory.
And they definitely need this to be a first down. They've got to get a touchdown on the board.
Morgan's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and the handoff goes straight up the middle. A couple of jukes, and running back is able to get across the first down marker, so that is a first down to keep this drive alive. That was Anthony Reyes on the carry, junior running back for the Raiders. So Rouse has something going, 8:35 here in the quarter, 8:34, clock is running. Morgan waiting for the snap, fakes the handoff, and he's looking across the middle, doesn't have a receiver yet, and he is wrapped up but able to escape, trying to get away from the Georgetown defenders, but they ultimately bring him down. Ball came out. Oh, and the referee is calling him down. So that ball is going to stay with the Raiders, but that's going to go, I don't know if that'll go as a sack or not, but he was trying to look for a receiver, couldn't get away, and I didn't quite see who was able to corral him. Was that Urban and Cole Mitchell out there on that? So it is 2nd and 11, 7:45 left in the quarter. Snap is bobbled, and he is able to corral it, gets a quick swing pass out to the right side, and the Raiders were able to turn something into nothing right there. Chase Witten with the reception, keep the drive going there. 3rd and about 3 for the Raiders at the Eagles' 16-yard line.
And I'm seeing a lot of poise from this quarterback. Not a lot's going right for him in the pocket, but he's able to continue to look down the field and make plays.
Coach Griffin talked about that in the interview. Morgan takes a handoff, gives the handoff to the ball carrier, bounces off to the left side. Ball is handed off to Anthony Reyes again, and he is able to get the first down for the Raiders at about the 12.5-yard line. We'll call it the 12-yard line. 6:56 and the clock is running. 14-0 the Eagles here in the Aesthetic Dentistry second quarter. Morgan making sure everybody's on the page. 14 seconds on the play clock. Morgan takes the snap, fakes the handoff in the middle, quick swing pass, bobbled but caught out on the edge, and after a gain of about 3 yards, number 7, Jaden Sauceda, able to make a little bit of progress, and again, did a good job of corralling that ball, and it's 2nd and 8.
So what's really interesting with these passing offenses when the field condenses like this is there's not as many routes to work with, so you have to fight for the yardage a little bit more. It's going to be very interesting to see how well they match up physically with the Eagles defense, especially that defensive line that's been winning that matchup so far.
First drive into the red zone for the Raiders. It is 2nd and 8. Morgan is pressured quickly, not able to get his feet under him, and he goes down at about the 25, 26-yard line. So that's a loss of 15 yards on the sack. Morgan unable to get away, and I did not see who that was that got back there. Did you see Holden?
I couldn't tell. I was too excited that he actually got him down, but that is the risk you take with the playmaking quarterbacks. You see this a lot in the NFL with guys like Mahomes, who's scrambling around, doing circles essentially in the backfield, trying to buy time to make a play. That time, the defense able to get him down. Big-time sack.
So a 3rd and long formation for the Georgetown defense. Only 2 rushers. Everybody else back in coverage. Morgan looks out quickly, fakes a pump fake out there, but then goes back out to the edge. Gets the reception, but nowhere near enough for a first down. So that's going to take the ball down to about the 21-yard line with right at 5 minutes left. And that was number 5, Sean Nolan, on the reception. But now it's 4th and 19, and it looks like the Raiders are keeping the offense on the field to go for it. Don't know what their kicking game looks like, but apparently they don't want to try the 41, 42-yard field goal. So Morgan sets up the offense, takes the snap back, looks real quickly across, and that is deflected. Should have knocked it down, but that's an interception and a turnover for this defense. And back there on that turnover was none other than number 3, Luke Holly, to get that reception. Might have been better served knocking that down, but it sure is hard to give up an interception like that.
Yeah, you're a defensive back. You see the ball in the air. At that point, honestly, instincts just kick in and you snatch it. So I don't think the last thing in his mind was probably, oh, it's 4th down, let me swat this. I see a ball, I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to go try to get a return, probably for 6 if he can make that play at the end and then get the blockers. But either way, that sack was a monumental play for this Georgetown Eagles defense. Kicked the Rouse Raiders out of comfortability, forced a very difficult 4th and 19, and now the Eagles got the ball back. Raiders still no points on the board.
Georgetown takes over at their own 10-yard line. Caleb McDougal, the sophomore quarterback, in shotgun formation with Jet Walker directly behind him. 1 receiver out each side. Handoff goes to Walker. He bounces out to the right side. Able to stiff arm one, but tries to jump over the second defender, but the second defender takes his legs out from under him, so it holds Walker to a gain of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Eagles.
And Georgetown's shouldn't at least be in much of a hurry. They've got a 14-point lead. The Raiders do get the ball to start the second half, but they have possession currently, so I would not expect any kind of tempo. The play clock should probably go to about 15. You want to score with no time on the clock, make this a 3-possession game going in the half.
2 timeouts for the Raiders, 3 for the Eagles. It's 2nd and 8. McDougal hands the ball off to Jet Walker. He's hitting the backfield, but he's able to break a tackle, and he breaks loose. He's across the 30, across the 40. He crosses midfield. 1 defender may have a shot, but no chance. 10, 5, touchdown, Georgetown. Jet Walker on the unbelievable run, breaks a couple of tackles for the long touchdown run, and now Mr. Walker is well over 100 yards in this game, and it is 3:41 left in the second quarter.
I was just talking about how you want to score with no timeout, but the coaches would absolutely take a one-play score like that. Jet Walker, 88 yards for a touchdown. That's up to 180 in the first half. All 3 scores for this Eagles offense, and they are killing them on the ground game.
Touchdown Eagles brings the score 20-0 for the Eagles with 3:41 left in this second quarter. The Aesthetic Dentistry second quarter. Mashburn in for the extra point and tip. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is good. So your score, Georgetown 21, the Rouse Raiders 0, 3:41 left here in the second quarter. We'll be back to more Georgetown football right after this.
The second quarter is brought to you by Aesthetic Dentistry of Georgetown. The mission and purpose of our team is to help provide quality of life with healthy and beautiful smiles. Determine if a highly trained cosmetic dentist is the best option for your smile. We are located at 3622 Williams Drive, Building 2 in Georgetown, Texas. Visit our webpage at www.aestheticdentistrygt.com or call 512-819-9100.
And we welcome you back to Gupton Stadium. Georgetown leads the Rouse Raiders 21-0, 3:41. And the Jet is fueled tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Over 180 yards rushing for Jet Walker, 3 touchdowns. And the junior running back has taken command of this game in the first half. Kick is going to be fielded at about the 13-yard line. Ball carrier comes up the middle of the field and is met at about the 30-yard line, able to get to the 31-yard line of Rouse. So they will start there. Lucas Till in on the tackle for the Eagles. So the Raiders will start 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. 3:32 left in the quarter.
And so far in this first half, just things haven't bounced Rouse's way. They had the big play, the wide open receiver down the field who falls down instead of scoring. You see the big play sack that the quarterback is trying to make a play down the field and ends up costing his team about 15 yards. They ultimately get no points in that drive. They have to calm down, take some breaths, settle in, and run their offense. It's still a long way to go in this football game, and they do get the ball to start the second half.
Offensive line is going to have to make some challenge themselves to try to move this defensive line out of the way. Morgan takes a snap and hands the ball right up the middle. After a gain of about 3 yards on the run, the Eagles are able to bring ball carrier down. It's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Eagles. Number 24 for the Raiders on the carry, Anthony Reyes, able to gain, well, they mark it 4 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 6. Clock is running here in the Aesthetic Dentistry second quarter. Morgan gets the offense set. He's got 3 receivers out to his left. Running back in the backfield with him. Takes a snap, swings the ball out after the fake handoff out to the edge. Trying to get around the edge, able to get up close to the first down marker is Leland Smith. And they mark him just short of the first down. He's to the 40-yard line, and Coach Griffin's got something to say over there.
I think he thought there was going to be a hold called on the defensive back who was trying to break to the ball carrier. He kind of got a little bit of the jersey. Obviously no flag on the field. I bet he's trying to talk to the refs about that. There's been a couple instances of a similar thing happening.
Dale Gray, Turnkey Civil Construction, and proud supporters of Rouse Athletics.
So again, some more confusion, more conversation between coaching staffs and the officiating crew here. 2:42 left in the second quarter.
They might be pulling out the rule book to figure out what a holding is, and then, maybe there was actually a call.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. It'll be interesting to find out at some point from Coach what in the world is happening. Now there's going to be a conversation with a trot across the field from the referee. Talk to Coach Mann. Nope. They're setting the offense, so 3rd down and 1, 2:42 in the third quarter. The Raiders have 3rd and 1 at their own 40-yard line. Handoff goes right up the middle. Ball carrier lowers his head and is able to fall forward across the 41, almost to the 42, but that's going to be enough for a first down for Rouse. And I thought they might go a little bit of tempo there, but they do not.
It's important to keep in mind that quarterback sacks are counted as negative rushing yards, but currently Rouse has 12 carries and 0 on the game.
1st and 10, the ball is handed off to Reyes, and he bounces out to the left side, able to gain about 3 yards. He had some contact from Georgetown defender out there, but he drags him for about 4 now. 2nd and 6, just over 2 minutes left in this quarter.
And they're doing the same thing that I thought Georgetown were doing the last drive. They're trying to milk the clock, score with no timeout, no time left, and then score again after in the second half to make this a 21-14 ball game, and then make things a lot more interesting.
Rouse trying to move something down the field, put some points on the board without giving the ball back to Georgetown. A lot of pressure on Morgan as he goes back there. There's going to be a flag for a hold out there on the edge, and that was an obvious hold. The referee saw it.
But you decline it at that point. It's going to be a loss of about 6 yards and the down. I would decline this.
Chance Kelly back there, and that's exactly what happens. It is decline, so Georgetown takes the loss. That's going to put it back to about 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16 now for the Raiders.
And that time wasn't even really on the quarterback trying to make a play. The defensive line just broke through so quickly. Their quarterback found himself having nowhere to go, and London Morgan is really struggling to get a sustainable, clean pocket to throw from.
Referee starts the clock back. About 1:30 left in this quarter, and I would anticipate if Rouse doesn't make this first down, Georgetown may use a timeout, try to get the ball back. Morgan drops back, a little bit of pressure from the backside, but he's able to get the pass off. Receiver's able to cross midfield and does get the first down out there just over midfield into Georgetown territory. That ball is going to be marked down at about the 45-yard line, 47-yard line of Georgetown. 1:10 left in the quarter. Rouse trying to get something going. Morgan's in the backfield with two receivers out each side, running back in the backfield with him. He rolls out to his right, and he's looking for a receiver, but they're covered up, so he just dumps the ball off. I think there may have been a hand on that football, but it wasn't going anywhere. Dylan Tuberville applying the pressure on Morgan out there. So now it is 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 58 seconds here in the second quarter.
And
go ahead.
A very interesting thing I was going to say was they did not elect to kick the field goal last time. And I don't know how good their kicking game is. Their punter is very good at what he does. But if they get close but not close enough, they might elect to go Hail Mary rather than kick.
Two receivers on each side. Number 4 goes into motion. Morgan rolls out to his right side, and he's looking for a receiver out there, but he's covered up. Now he's trying to get some help. He tucks the ball and runs, and there we saw what Coach was talking about. He doesn't run the ball a lot, but he does a good job when he does run the ball, and he's able to get the first down for Rouse and get out of bounds, stop the clock with 49 seconds left, and the ball will be spotted at around the 35-yard line of Georgetown.
And he did a very veteran maneuver, which was flag the receiver down the field. Tell him, hey, clear out. If the defender goes with you, I'm keeping it. If he comes after me, I'm throwing it over the top.
London Morgan, the junior quarterback for Rouse, has done a good job on this drive of maneuvering this team down the field. Throws the ball over the middle. Oh, and it is tipped by a Georgetown defender and caught out on the edge by number 6 for the Raiders. Danny Myers out there with a heads-up play. That ball had not only one set of hands on it, but 2. Went through both players' hands, and the receiver out there able to catch the ball for a first down at about the 20-yard line. And whistles. Timeout for Georgetown. I think Coach Griffin wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page, so we'll take the break with him. We will be back with more Georgetown Eagle football right after this.
For all the fly fishing, hunting, and outdoors enthusiasts, River and Ranch Provisions is your one-stop shop for the gear you need. There's a large selection of hunting and fly fishing supplies for the beginner, all the way up to the experienced outdoor folks. Cody, Brad, Sam, and Tim have put together a high-end outdoor outfitter with high-quality supplies and services to make everyone feel welcome and important, regardless of your experience level. Come see what there is to offer at 807 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, or check out the website at www.rrpgtx.com.
We welcome you back to John Gupton Stadium, the JCT Memorial Broadcast Booth, sponsored by JMTs. The Rouse Raiders driving, 33 seconds left here in this first half, the second quarter. Morgan claps his hands and takes the snap back, but flags fly, and it looks like it's going to be a false start on the Raiders, and that is not what this Raider team needs right now. They had a good drive going now. They got to back up 5 yards.
Yeah, and especially with the time left on the clock, obviously still 2 timeouts for the Rouse Raiders, but you never want to go backwards this close to the goal line because that lets the defense with a condensed field play even more aggressive because now you're behind the chains rather than on schedule or ahead of schedule.
Whole lot of conversation about this, and it is a false start on the Raiders. So that's going to back them up 5 yards. That'll be a 1st and 15 with 32 seconds left in the half.
I think they're trying to reset the clock. There it goes.
So they reset it to 33 seconds. Haven't started the play clock yet. Game clock at 33 seconds, and there the ball is whistled into play. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Lone running back in the backfield with Morgan. Takes the snap, and he is looking. Coverage is downfield. Now he's got to scramble and get out of there, and Georgetown pressuring him very heavily, but he's able to get a dump pass off. That's number 24, Reyes, out there making that pass and taking the ball out of bounds. Pretty decent gain there on 1st and 15, so that's going to bring it to 2nd and 7 with 23 seconds left in the half.
And that was really the first time that London Morgan has gotten a clean pocket to analyze the field from, but great play by the defensive secondary to not let anything break open down the field and forces a check down.
Morgan takes a snap back, and he's faked it down the field, but again, another heads-up play. That ball was tipped out there on the edge, and I think that was Cooper Wershen out there that tipped that ball, but the receiver was able to corral it, make the catch, so that is a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line for the Raiders, and they take a timeout to stop the clock with 17 seconds, trailing 21-0.
And the Georgetown defensive coordinator cannot be very happy because that's now 2 interceptions that would have ended this drive that they've dropped. And not only that, but the Rouse Raiders have caught and taken advantage of now a first and goal from the 10, 1 timeout. So for this play, everything is still open for them. They can use the middle of the field because if they do not get in the end zone, they can call that final timeout. But if they don't score here and they have to use that timeout, now it gets interesting clockwise, whether they're going to just throw it to the end zone multiple times or end up kicking a field goal after all.
We keep in mind that the Rouse Raiders do get the football after halftime, so if they can put points on the board, they may be able to get a little bit of momentum here and start to change this game to their side, which they desperately need on this drive. So 17 seconds left in the half, 21-0 Georgetown, and Rouse has 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. I thought we were going to have another conversation with the referees, but we're ready to go, and they whistle the ball into play. Man in motion from left to right. Morgan is looking for a receiver over the middle, throws it out to the right. Receiver Reyes all alone out there, and the Rouse Raiders are on the scoreboard with 11 seconds left in this half.
That's exactly what they needed. It's a great call, too, because there's been multiple instances of the defense for the Georgetown Eagles kind of forgetting about the running back, losing him in their coverage responsibilities. They take advantage of it there for an easy touchdown.
So Rouse scores their first touchdown. They do a little swinging gate look. Looks like the same play, just different uniforms, but now they bring out the kicking team. Number 27 for Rouse comes out, Connor Lyons.
And
to attempt the extra point.
Since they late subbed, yeah, I'm not sure they're going to let that count because since they late subbed, Georgetown sent a person on late, and with the play clock winding down, it would have been a delay of game. I think they're going to wave this off and make him re-kick it.
Be interesting to see. Turn his crowd mic down a little bit. No telling what the teenagers are going to say around it.
So yeah, it is interesting because I don't know if that would be necessarily a penalty, but if they are able to re-kick from the same spot, they're essentially able to get themselves out of a delay of game, and they are.
Well, and that was a mess, so we'll do it all over again. 11 seconds left in the half. Snap back, kick is up, and it is good. So that brings the score, Georgetown 21, Leander 7 with just 11 seconds left. Hang on, we got something that we got a flag on the play.
I think they roughed the kicker.
So the roughing the kicker is declined. I thought that would go on the kickoff. Interesting. Well, that brings our score to 21-7. Quick break, and we'll be right back after this message.
The second quarter is brought to you by Aesthetic Dentistry of Georgetown. The mission and purpose of our team is to help provide quality of life with healthy and beautiful smiles. Determine if a highly trained cosmetic dentist is the best option for your smile. We are located at 3622 Williams Drive, Building 2 in Georgetown, Texas. Visit our webpage at www.aestheticdentistrygt.com or call 512-819-9100.
Sorry about the volume on that, folks. Missed that one. But after the 10-yard reception for a touchdown, Rouse has closed it back to a 14-point lead for Georgetown. And now we'll kick off with 11 seconds left in the half for Georgetown to try to do something before the half. Rouse does get the ball afterwards. Kick is high and short, going to be fielded right around the 11-yard line. Ball carrier brings the ball up towards the right side, cuts back in towards the middle, and is brought down at about the 24, maybe 25-yard line with 5 seconds left. So I anticipate a little kneel down here, and we get off to the half.
I mean, you might as well give it to Jet Walker again. Let him see what he can do.
May as well. But putting Xavier Warren back there in protection mode, so I think this is going to be a snap back, kneel it, and we go to the half. And that is exactly what happened. So that is going to take us to halftime with your score, Georgetown 21 and the Raiders of Rouse High School 7. We will take a break and be right back with our halftime show in just a second. Well, hang on. We may have an interview with the coach.
Coach, you got a second?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what happened out there with the delay?
It was, we ran a play on first down. It was a live ball, so replay first down. We ran a play and ran a success on second down. They ran a play and holding. But they did first down, they moved the box, and they never corrected the box. So they ended up stealing it down from us right there. Okay. Well, more importantly, I was at the start of that drive, the 9-yard play. Pissed about that. I drew that up for him, and it's illegal.
Thanks, Coach. And there we go. Coach's thoughts on what was taking place out there on the field. So that brings us to halftime. The score 21-7. Georgetown leads Rouse. Quick message, and we will be right back to show you the Georgetown Eagle Marching Band right after these messages. Stick with us here on First Responder Broadcasting, only on the SHN Sports YouTube channel.
Attention Georgetown Eagle football fans, Blair Hogue with the Hogue team of Fairway Independent Mortgage is your local lender conveniently located on the square in downtown Georgetown. With over 22 years of experience, Blair and his team are here to guide you through every step of your home journey, whether you're buying, refinancing, or pulling out equity for debt consolidation or home improvements. We do it all, and we're dedicated to making your dreams a reality. When you think mortgage, think local. Think Blair Hogue with the Hogue team. Visit us today or call 512-717-9912 and let's get started on your path to home ownership. Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Brightside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Brightside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Brightside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Brightside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Brightside and stay a while.
Welcome back to John Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, where your Eagles are leading the Rouse Raiders 21-7 at the half. We're going to show you the Georgetown band, let you enjoy their performance. Then when we come back, we're going to have an interview, the last interview of the trainers, student trainers that we have been focusing on at halftime. And we really appreciate what those girls have done and continue to do for all the athletes at Georgetown. But we will let you watch the halftime show, and we will be back with more here on the Blair Hogue halftime show. Stick with us.
It is with the greatest of pleasure that I introduce you to the award-winning Sweethearts of Georgetown, the Georgettes. The Georgette officers are Lieutenant Ella Lishka, Lieutenant Trinity Eason, Lieutenant Maddie Skillman, and in the center, your 2024-2025 Georgette Captain, Miss Abby Tull. The Georgette socials are Abby Jones, Brentley McClain, and JJ Rosarelli. Social butterfly is Brentley McClain. Officer's choice is Cammie Vogler. And the Georgette of the week is Zoe Parker. And now, watch the Georgettes as they perform a kick routine to the smash hit, Every Time We Touch. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The Georgettes are under the direction of Mrs. Crystal Rafley. As the Eagle Band and Color Guard take the field, they would like to thank their booster board for their countless hours of hard work and tremendous support. The band is led on the field by drum majors Nathan Akers, Zoe Christie, and Ian McAllister. Your 2024-2025 Color Guard captain is Hannah Kahn. Lieutenant is Shaylin Watts. And Sergeant is Lily Eden. Brass captain head is Ian McAllister. Woodwind captain head is Izzy Webster. Percussion captain head is Adeline Jensen. Please help us celebrate our members of the week. Please congratulate the Color Guard Officer Choice, Lily Eden. Brass member of the week, Dominic Eckert. Woodwind member of the week, Aiden Howard. Battery member of the week, Jackson Hudson. And Harp Ensemble member of the week, Sarah Lewis. The Eagle Band section of the week is the Bluebirds. And finally, our band hero of the week is our top-notch communications VP, Mrs. Kara McKay. Thank you, Kara. The band would like to dedicate tonight's performance to all survivors and fighters of breast cancer. The Georgetown High School Eagle Marching Band and Color Guard will now perform their 2024 competition show, The Land of Sweet Dreams. The Land of Sweet Dreams is an homage to the classic board game, Candyland. You will see and hear sweet sights and sounds that will invoke images and feelings of the game. The Land of Sweet Dreams features soloists Lily Rogers, Nathan Akers, Izzy Webster, Hallie Brother, Ian McAllister, and Max Hillman. So please, sit back, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds of the Georgetown Eagle Marching Band and Color Guard.
Fine job by the Georgetown Eagle Marching Band. This season at the halftime, we have been focusing on the training staff for Georgetown. Started with H and with Vanessa, and then seniors, juniors, and now tonight, this interview with the sophomore and freshman student trainers for Georgetown High School. Enjoy the interview. Season at our halftime show, we are going to be spotlighting some of the student trainers for Georgetown High School, and we have 4 of them with us today. We have Harley. There she is. Maddie, Emery, and Paisley. Guys, thanks for joining us. This will be short and painless, okay?
Yes, sir.
So,
thank you.
Harley and Maddie are sophomores. Emery and Paisley are freshmen. And we're going to start with the freshmen just to keep some of you guys off the hook. Paisley, why did you get interested in being a trainer?
Well, I wanted to be a trainer because me personally, I'm very I love helping literally anybody. So that's basically why, because I'm just here for helping and stuff like that.
Maddie, what about you?
I became a trainer to follow in my grandmother's footsteps in the medical field.
Listen, are you guys going to stay in that trainer role when you leave high school, or do you know yet, or are you just kind of feeling this out?
I'm feeling it out.
I want to stay.
All right. And how many sports do you guys are you guys trainers for?
2.
All of them?
Well, we all work football together, and then after that, we all get an individual sport. So we'll have 2 people working each of those.
Yeah. We also work volleyball.
Say that again?
We also work volleyball.
All right. And everybody works volleyball?
Yes,
Or
sir.
just-
We take
Okay.
turns games.
Awesome. Harley, what other sports do you do trainers for?
We do volleyball, softball, baseball, soccer, basketball, and wrestling. And then if any other sport like tennis or something has an injury, or golf, they're welcome to come in and get treatments for it.
We'll go down the line. Your favorite sport? Paisley, we'll start with you.
My favorite sport to work or my favorite sport to watch?
Let's go work.
Definitely football.
Emery.
I really like football, but I'm really excited and I hope I get basketball this year.
You're a good basketball team.
Yes, sir.
Maddie.
I like working volleyball.
All right. And Harley.
I probably like the away football games the most.
Like a little travel.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So on a Friday, home game, what's your day look like?
So usually if we have A-days Friday, we'll be working in here,
getting coolers ready filled with ice, getting Gatorade.
To prepare for a football game, we work throughout the week to make sure it's ready. So on our last Friday game, on Mondays and Tuesdays we clean it up, we clean the towels and get the bottles. And then after that, we make sure it all dries off, and then we start preparing all of it.
We start preparing the coolers, ice chests. We'll make food for them,
Making Gatorade.
Making Gatorade, getting water ready, filling stuff up. Yeah. And then Fridays is when we really lock in and we go down, load the golf cart, bring it all down, and then start setting up the field to get ready for the game.
What time do y'all start setting up for a 7:00 kick?
Don't we start at 3?
It depends. If it's an A-day, we set up during fourth period. Fourth period.
Yeah.
If it's an A-day, we set during fourth period. Just get it ready, because then during fifth period, we're taping athletes and stuff before the game. And then if it's a B-day, we'll have gotten called in early to set up for it, usually around 1:30.
Yeah.
And then it's the same thing. We tape athletes during fifth period.
So, you guys are there in the mornings before the football team gets there, and then you're there in the afternoons after the football team leaves, right?
Yes, sir.
Long days. When do y'all get
do y'all get any time during the year where you have a break?
Sundays.
Yeah,
we never work Sundays.
We don't work Sundays, and then if your sport's not in season, you get kind of a rest.
Yeah.
Break.
If it's not in season, you'll like help other people out.
Yeah.
Or just fill in where you can.
Yeah.
So what's the hardest part for each of you?
You can start.
It definitely can be time consuming, but it's definitely not could be worse.
For me, it's probably waking up early and getting home late, especially with being a freshman and starting out high school and all this schoolwork. It can be really stressful and time consuming to get schoolwork done, social, and doing this. But I think H and Miss Mo do a good job of balancing it out, so it's not too much on us.
I think the hardest part for me is getting my own ride here and just having those early mornings to get up.
Just a couple more years and you can drive.
The hardest part for me is probably, because it can get pretty stressful during games, it's probably stress. And then early mornings are hard because sometimes I work late with schoolwork. So I'm tired and stuff, but
okay. Well, you guys working tremendously hard. Some folks are aware of all the work that you do. I know your parents are very much aware of the work that you do, but not everybody does. And we wanted to bring you guys in, give you basically a thank you for taking care of the athletes, not just the football team, but all the athletes at Georgetown High School and doing the hard work that you do. So we appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, shout outs. Who wants to start?
Harley. No. Paisley wants to start off.
All right, Paisley.
I definitely like to shout out my parents for getting me here on time, and all the rides and all the time they spend on me getting me to the places I need to be.
Yeah. Yeah, same there. I'd like to shout out my mom and my dad for helping me and definitely helping me with time management. I get really stressed with that, but I'd also like to shout out everyone, all the staff here, football coaches. All the coaches are super nice and also really helpful with us. All the girls, they put in their work. And it's really one big team effort. I really love that about us.
I definitely want to shout out my parents because they help me get on time places because I will be forgetting them a lot. And so they help me keep track on where I'm supposed to be.
I would like to shout out my dad for all the early mornings he takes me to, because it's always him. So he's always waking up super early to get me here. And then shout out my mom because she helps me with my time management and helping to manage how long I'm here and then schoolwork that I have afterwards.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys sitting down. I know it's kind of awkward sometimes to do something you may have never done before, but I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Yes,
we have sophomores Maddie and Harley and freshmen Paisley and Emery. Guys, thank you so much for what you do, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Attention Georgetown Eagle football fans. Blair Hogue with the Hogue team of Fairway Independent Mortgage is your local lender, conveniently located on the square in downtown Georgetown. With over 22 years of experience, Blair and his team are here to guide you through every step of your home journey, whether you're buying, refinancing, or pulling out equity for debt consolidation or home improvements. We do it all, and we're dedicated to making your dreams a reality. When you think mortgage, think local. Think Blair Hogue with the Hogue team. Visit us today or call 512-717-9912 and let's get started on your path to home ownership.
We welcome you back to the halftime show, brought to you by Blair Hogue and the Wood Group of Fairway. Contact Blair Hogue with the Hogue team of Fairway Independent Mortgage for all your lending needs. Visit the website at blair.hogue@fairwaymc.com or give Blair a call at 512-717-9912. So Holden, we look at the halftime stats brought to you by Graham and Sons Farm and Livestock. What do the stats look like from the first half?
We really see two very distinct styles right here. We have a very pass-heavy like we expected from Rouse, 16 of 24 for 146 overall and the touchdown right there to the end of the first half. And then a very heavy run game from Georgetown, 16 carries, 200 yards, 12.5 as the average, and 3 touchdowns all coming from Jet Walker, who's got 180 of those 200 yards. He's nearing 1,000 on the season, which is crazy to say in Game 6. But the biggest thing is at the bottom, that turnover. It was a 4th and 19, kind of just a throw it up, hope something works out for you. End up getting picked off, and that was in towards the red zone for Rouse. And they ended up getting no points on that drive, and we currently sit at 21-7. If they had scored at that drive, maybe 21-10, 21-14, coming into halftime, Rouse feels a lot more confident about their chances going into the second half. Especially because, like the stats show, they have not been able to stop Jet Walker in the entire first half. He's averaging 12.5 yards a carry.
It's fun watching Jet run, and, man, it shows in the stats. Holden's halftime stats are brought to you by Graham and Sons. I get it confused now. Graham and Sons Farm and Livestock. Message from them. We'll be right back here at the halftime show in just a few minutes.
Holden's first half stats in the third quarter are brought to you by Graham & Sons Land and Cattle Company. Graham & Sons Land and Cattle Company is a cow-calf operation here in Central Texas, growing calves, cotton, corn, and wheat for commercial customers. Austin Graham and his team of crazy cowboys and cowgirls produce some of the best tasting meat that the First Responder Broadcasting team has ever eaten. Thank you, Graham & Sons, for your support of our broadcast of Georgetown football. Eagle fight never dies.
Welcome back to John Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, where Georgetown leads the Rouse Raiders 21-7. Just a couple of minutes left here in the halftime. Holden in that drive where Rouse was able to score. There were a couple of opportunities for the Georgetown defense to get off the field, and they were unsuccessful in doing that. Rouse pushes one in for a touchdown right before the half.
Yeah, 2 separate tip drill instances of of defenders having the ball right in their hands. It slips out, and not only does it slip out, but the Rouse Raiders receivers end up catching the ball for completions for first downs to extend the drive. So coming from the Georgetown Eagles' perspective on defense, you have to be kind of dissatisfied with that touchdown, just knowing that you could have stopped them. But at the same time, you know that they were giving you opportunities to intercept them, to make a big play, and to keep them off the scoreboard. So you know that that drive had some asterisks on it, and they can come into the second half with some confidence saying, okay, that drive really shouldn't have happened, but credit to Rouse for making the plays when they presented themselves.
Rouse will receive the second half kickoff whenever we return here to Gupton Stadium. The Eagles are taking the field right now, getting ready for this second half. We're going to take one more quick break, and we'll be back with the second half of tonight's ball game right after this. This is First Responder Broadcasting, bringing you Georgetown Eagle football on the SHN Sports YouTube channel.
Attention Georgetown Eagle football fans, Blair Hogue with the Hogue team of Fairway Independent Mortgage is your local lender, conveniently located on the square in downtown Georgetown. With over 22 years of experience, Blair and his team are here to guide you through every step of your home journey, whether you're buying, refinancing, or pulling out equity for debt consolidation or home improvements. We do it all, and we're dedicated to making your dreams a reality. When you think mortgage, think local. Think Blair Hogue with the Hogue team. Visit us today or call 512-717-9912 and let's get started on your path to home ownership.
Welcome back to this presentation of Georgetown Eagle football, brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting, only on the SHN Sports YouTube channel. Georgetown leads 21-7 about to kick off here in the second half. There have been some opportunities for Georgetown to keep Rouse out of the end zone, but Rouse has now made it a ball game, 14-point lead going into the second half. Third quarter is brought to you by Graham & Sons Farm and Livestock, and we appreciate all of our sponsors helping keep these broadcasts free to you. So if you get the opportunity, go by, say thank you. spend a little bit of money there and let them know you appreciate their support of this Georgetown Eagles football game. So as we go into the third quarter, Georgetown will kick off to Rouse. And Rouse had a little bit of success, something to build on, Holden, here for the second half.
Yeah, that last drive was very successful for them. Obviously, the asterisks with the dropped interceptions. But if they can continue that, especially on this first drive, and make this now a 7-point game, the Rouse Raiders are all the way back. They've got all the momentum in the world. And now it's on the Georgetown offense to prove that we can continue scoring.
Christopher Mashburn out there to kick the ball off for Georgetown. Georgetown defense going to try to put a stop to this offense now, get the ball back for the Eagles. But we are ready for the second half kickoff. Kick is a good deep kick and a fair catch signaled. So that will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. A little extracurricular activity going on, but no flags thrown. And players from both teams pulling their teammates away from that. So hopefully the chippiness doesn't start. We just have a good, clean ball game here. Penalties were an issue in the first half for both teams, but not a huge issue, but still a little bite here and there that was taking yardage away from both these offenses in particular.
Yeah, both teams had 2 penalties in the first half, which is a number that's well down below the average for Georgetown. They've been a very penalized team through the first couple weeks of the season, so the coaching staff will definitely take 2 penalties in the first half.
London Morgan brings out the Raider offense. There are 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, empty backfield. Morgan takes a quick swing pass out to the right, good blocking out there. Ball carrier able to make about a 7-yard gain on a good first down play, and I think that was Reyes on the reception out there for the Raiders. Raiders have started off hot now.
It's just a quick throw, an easy completion to a man to get him the ball in space, make a play with the ball, and now it's a second and short.
Reyes goes into motion out to the right. Now there are 4 receivers out to the right. Fakes that same quick swing pass and then escapes and is able to cross the 25-yard line down to about their own 26-yard line, and that was Luke Butch making the stop there, but not before Morgan is able to get the first down for the Rouse Raiders. 11-15 in the third quarter.
And that was dangerous. He was holding that ball like a loaf of bread, just one hand running. That's a very risky decision. I bet the coaching staff's going to have a word with him about that.
First down for the Raiders at their own 36-yard line. Morgan waiting, and there is a flag on the play for a false start. So one of those dead ball penalties that really frustrates coaches.
Especially with the first drive coming out of half, you know generally the plays are scripted. You talk about them coming in, so you really should be comfortable with the cadence going into it. That is an absolute nightmare for the coaching staff, and now it's 1st and 15.
So after the 5-yard penalty, the Raiders facing 1st and 15. They stick with a very similar formation before that penalty happened, but 3 receivers out to the right. Reyes to Morgan's right in the backfield. Doesn't fake the handoff, a pump fake out to the side, passes out to about the 39-yard line, and on the reception is number 3, Noah Fabila. I hope I'm saying that name right, Fabila, and that brings it to a 2nd down and 7 for the Rouse Raiders. Rouse trying to get something going, maintain that momentum from the first half here. Morgan checks the play with the sidelines. There are 2 receivers out left, 1 right. Reyes back with Morgan in the backfield, and he hands the ball off to Reyes. He's wrapped up in the backfield, but he's able to break the tackle, crosses the 45-yard line up to about the 46. Might be enough for the first down, but there are flags flying all over the place. We'll see what the call is. So holding on Rouse, and that's going to nullify a really good gain, probably enough for the first down, but that's going to back Rouse up 10 yards.
I wonder if it's going to be a spot penalty or
no,
just
looks like they went from the previous line of scrimmage. No, it doesn't.
No, I think it is.
No, it was. Say that again.
It was a spot.
Okay. So the spot foul backs Rouse up. It's going to be 2nd and 17 now for the Raiders. 10:27 on the clock, and the clock is running right now. Receiver goes in motion out to the left. Morgan looks over that way but dumps it back to number 3. He's able to catch the ball and move up past the original line of scrimmage, just past that original line of scrimmage. A good run to make something out of not a whole lot out there. And that was Noah Fabila again on the reception. So that's going to make it 3rd and 9 for the Raiders.
And we've seen a heavy emphasis on the screen game early. They're trying to nullify how aggressive this defensive line for Georgetown's being by throwing that around them and letting the offensive line get to the second level. We've seen some very good rallying, though, by this defense to not let these screen plays break for big yardage.
We're early in the Graham & Sons 3rd quarter, but this is a big 3rd down for the Raiders. Receivers in motion. Morgan takes off to his left immediately on the snap. He's being pursued out there, but he's able to turn the corner, but not quite far enough, I believe, for the first down. He's going to get out to about the 44, 45-yard line. 44, right around the 44-yard line. So that's going to bring up 4th and 2. And it looks like the Raiders are keeping the offense on the field. So an opportunity here for Georgetown to get the ball on downs if they can hold Rouse here.
And what's really interesting is that Rouse has not been able to run the ball very well. So you almost expect a pass on this short yardage just because this defensive line for Georgetown has been dominant.
9:32 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Snap and a handoff right away, and he is wrapped up but able to lean forward across the 45-yard line to about the 46, and that looks like that's going to be spotted enough for a Rouse first down. So Georgetown unable to get off the field here when they had the opportunity, and Rouse continues this drive on the momentum they had going into the half. First down for the Raiders at the 46-yard line. Just over 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, the Graham & Sons 3rd quarter. And Rouse has started a pretty good drive here to begin the quarter. Handoff goes to Reyes. He looks to his right side. Doesn't get much, but he's able to lean forward, gain about 3 yards. So it's going to be 2nd and 7 for Rouse.
But that's exactly the first down play they want. They want a positive gain, 2nd and medium now, stay on schedule. They had a lot of penalties last time that muddied things up, made it more difficult. They ended up converting, obviously, but you still want to keep things as simple as possible for the offense. A 3-yard gain on first down is a good way to do it.
After that drive, long drive at the end of the first half, and now a drive that's starting to be long in the second half, Georgetown's got to start thinking about those defenders getting tired. Handoff goes to Reyes. He goes right up the middle at the teeth of this Georgetown defense, is able to get to the Georgetown 46-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 2 for Rouse into Georgetown territory. Morgan being really patient, running the offense nice and steady, looking for the signals from the coach.
He's done a great job all game with that, not showing any panic. Obviously still down 2 scores, but still has the offense under control, playing the game they want to play.
We see what Coach was talking about, him using his feet to buy time, and he does there. Takes a snap and hands directly to Reyes there, but he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A tackle for loss that's going to make it 4th down and 3, and I anticipate, well, it looks like the punt team's coming on, but Luke Butch was able to get penetration into the backfield, take the ball carrier down, so it's 4th down. And if this does turn into a punt, then the Eagles are able to get off the field.
Yeah, I'm in honestly disbelief that they're actually going to punt this ball away on the other side of midfield, down 2 scores in the second half. I would be so ready for a fake.
Luke Holly, I believe, back deep. And the Raiders do punt the football. Good high punt. Signal for a fair catch, and the fair catch is made at about the 13-yard line. So Georgetown holds the Raiders and takes over after the punt with 7:12 left in the 3rd quarter. The Graham & Sons 3rd quarter. Your score, Georgetown 21, Rouse 7. Quick break. Be right back after this.
Holden's first half stats in the 3rd quarter are brought to you by Graham & Sons Land and Cattle Company. Graham & Sons Land and Cattle Company is a cow-calf operation here in Central Texas, growing calves, cotton, corn, and wheat for commercial customers. Austin Graham and his team of crazy cowboys and cowgirls produce some of the best tasting meat that the First Responder Broadcasting team has ever eaten. Thank you, Graham & Sons, for your support of our broadcast of Georgetown football. Eagle fight never dies.
Sorry, but a quick pass. It came back pretty quick. Quick pass to number 2, Davin Sedgwick, and Davin takes it to the house on the first play in the second half for the Georgetown Eagles. Able to put points on the board, and now the Eagles have extended the lead back to 20 points, awaiting the extra point attempt. Holden, what a play there. Drawn up very well, executed very well.
It's brilliant from the offense because you know everything that Rouse talked about in that half, the halftime adjustments was stopping Jet Walker. They run a play action, everyone flies forward, and you run an RPO behind it, a little skinny post with Davin Sedgwick. Get separation, no linebackers to contest, and outraces everybody to the end zone. Big play touchdown. We got a 28-7 ball game.
Mashburn's extra point is up, and it is good. And that makes the score Georgetown 28. The Raiders of Rouse 7 with 6:58 left in the third quarter. We'll be back right after these messages from Borrow from Morrow.
Our first down sponsor this season is Borrow from Morrow. Borrow from Morrow, our team is dedicated to providing the best mortgage experience possible. We do that by offering easy-to-use mortgage tools, including our handy mobile app, competitive rates, and assistance from an experienced loan officer. Our loan officers understand the local markets, have access to a wide variety of loan programs, and are ready to guide you through the process. Your family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember, Matt Morrow, Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148.
So hi. Welcome back to the JCT Memorial Broadcast Booth, sponsored by JMTs, where your Georgetown Eagles have taken a 21-point lead early in the second half and are about to kick off. After this kickoff, got a little announcement for you. Kick is going to be fielded at about the 10-yard line. Ball carrier comes towards the middle of the field in between the hashes. He's able to bounce outside. He's out towards the numbers and brought down at about the 35, 36-yard line. Good tackle out there. We did want to let you know, this past weekend at the Waco Midway Marching Band competition, your Georgetown Eagle Marching Band takes first place. So congratulations to them. Rated outstanding in every category. So we are very proud of that Eagle Marching Band and their success at competition this past weekend. Tip of the cap to the Eagle Marching Band for winning that competition this past weekend. So 6:47 left in the third quarter. The Eagles lead 28-7, and the Raider defense is out on the field, or the Raider offense is out on the field with London Morgan. Handoff goes right up the middle, but he is wrapped up right away, able to lean forward. Reyes on the carry, but he is met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down after a short gain by Dylan Turbeville. Nice tackle by Dylan there. 2nd and 8 for the Raiders.
And I just talked about last drive how the offense didn't show a lot of panic. They were willing to take some time, settle down, but now down 3 scores in the third quarter. There is a little bit more urgency to go quicker, more chunk plays, and that was not one of them.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Quick dump screen pass right up the middle. Gains about 4 yards on the play. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 4 on the reception for the Raiders. Is number 19, Auburn Davis.
And another screenplay. We're really seeing them try to nullify this defensive line, moving the pocket, calling these screens to let them get past, and then use the offensive line. It's not really working.
Morgan takes the snap, hands it off to Davis again, and he goes off the right side. He's able to break a couple of tackles. He's across the 40-yard line, stumbles and comes down. Or he had some room to run, but he falls about the 37-yard line. Looks like the turf monster got him and brought him down, but that's enough for a first down for Rouse in their second drive of the second half.
And easily their biggest run play of the day, 21 yards.
Morgan in the backfield's got a couple of backs with him, takes a quick snap, starts to swing it out, but then does the dump off to the tight end for a short gain, but a decent gain of about 3 yards on that play. Mason Rager.
They try to fake it to the running back and let the tight end kind of slip between everybody, hoping the defense would fake. But since there were so many levels of the pursuit on the defense, whenever the tight end caught that little dump-off pass, there were 2 guys still waiting for him, ready to tackle either him or that running back.
The Raiders trying to use some misdirection to get this Georgetown defense on their heels. The handoff goes to Reyes. He tries the right side, but only gains about a yard, maybe 2 yards. So that's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Raiders at about the 32-yard line of Georgetown. 4:30 left in this third quarter. Chance Kelly on the tackle for the Eagles.
And they didn't go for it on 4th down last time. I have to imagine this is 4-down territory, regardless of result here.
Morgan takes a snap and fakes the handoff to Reyes. He's looking for a receiver out on the edge, and the cornerback bought the fake downfield, turned his hips upfield so that the receiver was able to come back for a wide open reception. Jaden Sauceda on the reception, and out on the edge was number 13 for the Eagles, Cooper Wershen, able to make the play, but enough for a Raider first down at the Eagles' 21-yard line with just under 4 minutes in the quarter. Morgan takes the snap and hands it to Reyes. He goes right up the middle. Big hole there. He's not able to break a tackle and make it to the end zone, but it is inside the 10-yard line. A first down at the 7-yard line, so it's going to be first and goal for the Raiders now, and this Eagle defense may be getting a little bit tired. The score doesn't indicate it, but they have been on the field for a bunch of plays.
And the one play, big play touchdown for Georgetown doesn't help them kind of catch their breath. It's a touchdown, and they're right back out there. You can kind of see it.
Lots of hands on the hips for this Eagle defense, so they could use a long, sustained jet walker drive the next time they get their hands on the ball. 3 receivers out to the right, and that's the direction Morgan's looking, but he tucks the ball, takes off running, and he is going to score untouched for the second touchdown for the Raiders. So they answer the Eagles' touchdown and draw the score back to a 2-score lead, 28-13 with 3:12 left, pending the extra point.
And it's been a rough night overall for this Rouse Raider offensive line, but that time they pick up the blitz very well. And the problem when you blitz and be aggressive like that is usually there's no one to account for the quarterback. You see it right there. Easy scramble for the touchdown.
Low snap, but the holder is able to handle it, and the kick is up, and it is good. And that brings our score, Georgetown 28, Rouse 14, with 3:12 left here in the third quarter. Third quarter is brought to you by Graham & Sons Farm and Livestock. Message from our sponsors. We'll be right back after this.
Hey Georgetown, there's a new place to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and it's on the beautiful square in downtown. It's Goldberger Diner. When you walk into this 50s-style diner, you're greeted with a smile, greeted like your family. Sit at the counter, a table, or a booth and get ready for an old-fashioned dining experience like no other in Georgetown. Enjoy tasty breakfast or come later for a burger, chicken fried steak, or even the Southern classic liver and onions. There's so much to choose from. Goldberger Diner is located at 109 West 7th Street in downtown.
Welcome back to Georgetown Eagle football. This game live from Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park. Georgetown leads the Raiders 28-14 after the Raider touchdown. Kick goes deep and is fielded at about the 6-yard line. Ball carrier brings it towards the middle of the field. He's got a couple of blockers, a little bit of an opening, but it closes relatively quickly. And now a flag has flown, and we will see what that call is. Probably some block infraction on the return team for the Eagles. But we'll see what the call is. Ref microphone not working too well, but it's going to be a hold on the Eagles, so they'll mark it off from the spot of the hold and back the Eagles up 10 yards. They will start 1st and 10 at about their 16-yard line, 17-yard line, somewhere around there. Or the 15-yard line. Who knew? 3:05 left in the Graham & Sons third quarter. Georgetown starts with the football after the Rouse scoring drive. They start at their own 15-yard line with 3:05 left here in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Walker. He starts right up the middle, got a good amount of speed before he met a ball carrier, makes it out to about the 24-yard line. About a 9-yard gain on first down, so it's going to be 2nd and 1, and I'm expecting a heavy dose of run.
And that's probably what the defense is expecting too, so there's always going to be that chess match. How much run do you give before you play fake and try to get something down the field?
Clock is running, 2:35 left here in the Graham and Sons third quarter. McDougal takes the handoff again, hands it to Walker, and he goes right at this Raider defense. He's able to break a tackle, gets over across the 40-yard line and taken down at about the 41-yard line. And now we're approaching 200 yards of rushing for Jet Walker.
He's over it. He's got 206 now on the day. And the big challenge with a guy that big is the only way to realistically get him down is to go low. But you know you're going to take a big impact if you try to take his legs out because he's moving fast. There's always the mental battle. They're trying to go high, and Jet Walker is running through these arm tackles.
With his time in Georgetown, a career night here in Georgetown. Quickly to their formation. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Quick throw over the middle to 81, right across the 45-yard line to the 46-yard line, and that was Jake Mylock on the reception. 2nd and 4 for the Eagles with 1:50 left in the third quarter.
And again, it's a quick pass, but it's keeping the defense honest. It's not allowing the linebackers to fly upfield as soon as the ball is snapped because they can always check it and dump it off. And a 5-yard gain on first down is exactly what you want for this offense.
Without the referee conversations, this quarter has flown by. McDougal's in the backfield with Walker to his left. He hands the ball off to Walker. He slips when he tried to make a cut and goes down before he even gets back to the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 1 there. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Eagles now on this drive at the 40, just across the 45-yard line. Not something that we've seen a lot out of Jet. Just lost his footing there, not able to make a cut. He had the block, had a little lane to run through, but lost his footing. So now 3rd and medium, 3rd and 5 for Georgetown. McDougal's checking the signals, getting everybody in place with 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left, and Jet Walker in the backfield with him. Clap of the hands brings the ball back. Quick throw out to the edge. And I believe, who was that out there on the edge?
That was Xavier Warren.
Xavier Warren out there on the edge, but the Raider defender able to come up right, make contact right when that ball hit his hands. So it's incomplete. Good play by the Raider defense, and that's going to get the Georgetown offense off the field, bring out the punt team for the Eagles.
And a big-time stop for Rouse, get him off the field. Third quarter not quite over, still 46 seconds. They played that third down very aggressive. They sent a run blitz and then manned up on the outside to try to lock up those quick throws, did just that.
Walker's the short man on the punt, I think, but they do snap it back to the punter. Punt is away. Good Georgetown roll on this punt, so they're going to watch it roll as far as it possibly can. It rolls past the 20 down at about the 19-yard line. So Rouse takes over after the punt, trailing Georgetown 28-14. Quick message from our sponsors. We'll be back right after this.
The Golden Rule is a proud sponsor of Georgetown Eagle football. Located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, the Golden Rule offers an amazing menu and even better atmosphere. The menu includes Cantonese riblets, Texas fried quail, roasted beet salad, sweet chipotle chicken lollipops, golden classics like the Elk Double Smash Burger, and so much more. Need a room for a group? The Golden Corral can accommodate up to 60 people in a private room. Give the menu a look at goldenrulegtx.com. The Golden Rule, above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.
First play from scrimmage here on this drive, and the ball carrier is able to gain a couple of yards, leans forward for a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 for the Rouse Raiders with the clock winding down here in the third quarter. 8-7-6. Don't know that they're going to get another playoff, so that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Your score, Georgetown 28, Rouse 14. We'll be back for the final quarter of tonight's game right after this.
At Mesquite Creek Outfitters, located at 704 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, Texas, we bring community together in a casual environment to share the love of gear, great drinks, and friendship. Enjoy our light menu, a beverage, and shop our great selection of men's and women's clothing and gear. Also, check out our website for MCO Grocery Company and have fresh groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. Visit the Mesquite Creek site at www.mesquite.com.
start to the fourth quarter here at John Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, Texas. Georgetown leading 28-14 as we begin the fourth quarter, but Rouse has the football at their own 20, about just over the 20-yard line, trying to close this score to a one-score game here in the fourth quarter. Morgan back in the backfield, running back to his right, two receivers to his right, one to the left. He fakes the handoff, pulls the ball back last minute. He's got a receiver open at the 40, 45, and almost to midfield on the reception. Well-designed play there by Rouse, and it fooled the defensive backfield for Georgetown. That was Mason Rager on the reception. Rouse trying to get another scoring drive going to close this lead down just a little bit more. We got a good ball game going here, gentlemen. Morgan steps back, awaiting the snap, sends his back into motion out to the left. Takes a snap, and he's looking for a receiver over the middle, getting a little bit of pressure, and we see the talent there, the ability, but he slips just like Jet Walker did a little bit earlier, way back at the 34-yard line. A huge, huge loss on that first down play, so that's going to put the Raiders in a bit of a spot here on second down. 2nd and 24 for the Raiders. It's exactly the type of play that you have to kind of live with that kind of style of quarterback. You saw him scramble for the touchdown to get it to a 14 points for Rouse, but that time unable to keep his footing, and a big-time loss. The Mesquite Creek Outfitters fourth quarter, just under 10:50 in the quarter. Morgan fakes a throw out to the right, throws it back, a dangerous, dangerous throw there, and Chance Kelly almost able to pick that ball off, but that's going to be a very, very long third down now for Rouse. 3rd and 24 from their own 34-yard line, 10:40 left in the fourth quarter. They've ran a very similar play multiple times, and that time Georgetown keyed up on it. Great recognition by that back end to make a play on the ball, and like you said, lucky that Georgetown did not come away with it. Morgan in the backfield with a running back to his left. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and he again is looking downfield, goes through his progression, finds number 3 almost at midfield. And that was J.D. Lindstetter on the tackle for the Eagles, but not before Noah Fablia is able to make the reception. J.D. Lindstetter is the backup quarterback, so I certainly hope he did not make the tackle. That was Seth Warren. Seth Warren. Yeah, big middle linebacker. Yeah, that's why I don't do this every week. Where's Wally? Not Waldo. Where's Wally? We need Wally. Right at 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Rouse on the move, but it is 4th and 8, and they leave the offense on the field. They pretty much have to at this point. Morgan takes a snap back, and he's looking out to his right. Didn't look anywhere else, and the ball goes through the hands of the intended receiver, Noah Fabila, and they turn the ball over on downs. A huge, huge stop for the Eagles late in this ball game. And you have to shout out Jaheim Dowd. He made contact at the breaking point of the route, and it slowed down the timing. The quarterback was expecting a clean release, a breakdown, and a turnaround and catch with it right on his chest. But that jam right at the spot of turning around slowed everything down. When he turned, the ball was too close, whizzes right by him, and a big-time stop. Now Georgetown's got the ball back up 2 possessions. Pass was a little bit high, but it was catchable. Went right through the hands of Fabila out there. So now we're expecting the Jet Walker show here with 9:50 left in the fourth quarter. McDougal takes the snap and hands it to Walker. He cuts back to his left, is able to get across the line of scrimmage, drag one ball carrier, but a gain of 4, so it's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Eagles with the clock running here in the fourth quarter. Rouse is going to start getting to a point real quickly where we're going to have to start thinking about taking some timeouts to preserve this clock. It's a 2-score lead for the Eagles right now. Any more points on the board, and it may lock this game away for the Eagles. They'll be very patient. You see they're in no hurry to run these plays. 15-14 left on the play clock as McDougal steps back into the pocket into shotgun formation. Walker moves up to his right. 2 receivers left, 1 right. McDougal awaits the snap, takes the snap, and again hands it to Walker. He tries the left side of the line, pushing forward, getting a little help from his friends out there for about a 2, maybe 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 3rd and 3 for the Eagles. Looked like a little extracurricular activity after the play, but no flags there. It's been a pretty clean game. Little bit of chippiness here and there, but that's that's football.
And the big thing to keep in mind here is Rouse is likely defending 4 plays every set of downs. Georgetown's not a big field goal kicking team, and so this is essentially 2 downs to get 3 yards right here, but it'll likely be 4 down conversions down the field as well.
Clock has gone under 8.5 minutes here in the final quarter. Walker takes a handoff. He's right up the middle. He breaks one tackle, but the other tackler is able to bring him down at about the 36-yard line, but that's enough for a borrow from Morrow first down for the Georgetown Eagles.
He's got 220 yards now on the ground, 3 touchdowns, still averaging 12.2 on the ground. It has been the Jet Walker show tonight.
Walker was a running back at Lampasas last year. His family moved back to Georgetown this year. So as far as his career in Georgia, I don't know what he did in Lampasas. He had some pretty good runs in Lampasas, but his Georgetown career tonight is a career night for Jet Walker. McDougal back in the backfield, very familiar formation with Walker to his left. Handoff again goes to Walker. He starts up the middle but bounces it out to the left. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gain about a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Eagles with 7:29 and the clock running.
I'm a little surprised they called him in bounds. He looked pretty upright when he went out, and I was going to say that is a win for this Rouse defense if they can stop the clock. But they called him tackled in bounds, and thus the clock's still going now. 7 minutes, 10 seconds left to go.
I'm a bit surprised the coaching staff for Rouse isn't saying something about that clock continuing to run, but at this point the ball carriers for Georgetown need to go down in bounds and force them to use those timeouts, not give them a free clock stop. 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line of Rouse. Georgetown trying to put this game away, and the snap goes directly to Walker. He goes off to his right, gets met by a couple of tacklers, able to shed one of them, but he pushes forward, and that's going to make it 3rd and about 6, maybe 3rd and 5. Yeah, we'll call it 3rd and 6. So a big 3rd down for this Rouse defense.
And I know for a fact this offensive coordinator has seen it. They're playing one-on-one press coverage on the outside with these receivers and loading the box, 8-9 guys in there. They're begging a one-on-one shot to be taken because at this point they have to go all out to stop the run. I would be very interested to see if they end up calling a receiver's number on this 3rd down rather than another handoff.
I would guess this is 4-down territory here for the Eagles. Sedgwick and Warren out to the left. Walker in the backfield with McDougal. Walker takes a handoff, turns up the middle, and he is gone. Nobody's going to get him. 10-5, touchdown Eagles, and that's going to seal this game for Georgetown pretty much. It's a 3-score ball game now with the clock right at 6 minutes. Jet Walker putting on an absolute clinic in the run game tonight for the Eagles.
And again, all the credit in the world to Jet Walker, but this offensive line is creating massive gaps that he can run through. He's taking advantage of them. Got to give the big offensive linemen a lot of credit. They oftentimes get a little bit neglected, forgotten about. I see you big fellas.
And that guy is just running like a madman. Christopher Mashburn out for the extra point attempt. McDougal to hold. Snap back. Kick is up. And the kick is good. That makes it your Georgetown Eagles 35, the Rouse Raiders 14 with 6 minutes left in the ball game. Quick message from our sponsors. We'll be back right after this.
Struggling with addiction or know someone who is? There's light at the end of the tunnel, and it shines bright at the Oak Ridge Disciple House. As a 501c3 Christian ministry, they are dedicated to helping men aged 18 and older rebuild their lives free from the chains of drug and alcohol addiction. Be reminded, there's always hope, always a new beginning. Discover your fresh start with the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Proud supporters of Georgetown Eagle football, because just like the Eagles, the fight at Oak Ridge never dies. Find out more at oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
And welcome back to Georgetown Eagle football, brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting on the SHN Sports YouTube channel. Jet Walker unofficially 4 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. And that's unofficial. That's according to our statistician, who is awesome at stats, by the way, Holden Tuma. So Jet Walker is the story of the night for the Georgetown offense. Mashburn to kick it off. 6 minutes left in the game. The kick is going to be fielded with a fair catch at about the 9-yard line. So the ball will come out to the 25, and that's where Rouse will start this drive. Desperately in need of points, trying to reduce a 21-point lead in 5 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah, all caution is out the window now. You have to let it all out. Anything that you've been saving the rest of this game, you have to kind of reveal it and just try to hope that some kind of miracle goes your way. A 3-possession lead, 6 minutes to go. They're going to have to get a lot of bounces.
Fully expecting Rouse to go with some tempo now. They're going to have to get the ball back, score 3 times without allowing Georgetown to score anymore. But Mason in the backfield. London Morgan in the backfield, got a running back to his right. He rolls out to his right, and he's looking downfield, finds number 5 across the numbers right about the 39-yard line, and that is Sean Nolan on the reception, and we see them hustling back to the line, but still you don't see a whole lot of urgency like you would expect right now. 3 receivers to the left, 1 out to the right, and a running back in the backfield with Morgan. Rolls out to his left, and we've seen that a lot. Throws out the number 3 out on the edge. Misses, slips 1 tackle, but not able to slip the second, but crosses the 45-yard line to about the 46-yard line, and that was Chance Kelly making the final stop there. He's at, they mark it about the 45-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and 3, 5:30 on the clock. Clock is stopped because of the out-of-bounds play. Morgan takes the snap back and again moves to his left a little bit. Familiar receiver out there, Noah Fabila. I hope I'm probably butchering that young man's name, and I apologize for that. But Noah's able to get across to about midfield, and that's enough for a first down. 5:25 left. Clock stops with Noah getting out of bounds there.
And it's a dual-faceted play because on one hand, you move the pocket and eliminate some of the pass rush. On the other hand, you get out of bounds, but the problem is you're not getting a whole lot of yards at a time.
Morgan takes a snap. He bobbles the snap, and he picks it up, and he's able to scramble around. Throws deep, ball down the field, and the only one that had any kind of shot at that at all was Alex Wilson. But it falls harmlessly and stops the clock. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 now for Rouse. He did a good job of corralling that snap.
And honestly, a heads-up play at this point of the game, you could do worse things than chunking a ball downfield. Maybe you get a penalty. Maybe he catches it. If it's intercepted, you're likely losing the game anyway. So I can very much appreciate that attempt. Just, hey, it's a busted play. I'm going to give my guy a shot.
I think somebody called a timeout, but the referee's mic is not working, and he didn't signal which direction that was.
No, I think Luke Butch went down, number 99.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see him limping off the field. Big Luke Butch, and that's a lot of human being to move off of a field on a gimpy leg, so trainers are getting him to the sideline.
It's good he's walking it off.
Yeah.
It's what you always want to see.
A little humid out there tonight. Little warm, so a little cramping happening. I think that's probably what he was suffering from there as he limped off the field. Luke Butch has done a really, really good job this year on that defensive line, so hopefully he can get back out there pretty quickly. So Morgan sets the offense. 2 receivers out to his right, 2 to his left, and he is looking deep. Throws the ball up high and unable to corral it out there. Good defense out there on the edge by Tyler Glandorf.
Jaheim Dowd.
Was that Jaheim?
Yes, that was Jaheim Dowd. Tyler Glandorf is another quarterback. We got to get you an updated roster.
Well, it's just I'm not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, so we're struggling through. 5:10 left here in the 4th quarter. The Mesquite Creek Outfitters 4th quarter. The Raiders trying to close the distance a little bit on this lead by Georgetown. Morgan has plenty of time in the backfield, but starts to get some pressure, rolls out to his left, and now he just throws the ball away. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 10, and you know they have to go for it. And I don't know what Morgan was signaling there, but signaled like it was a first down for something, but no penalty flags, no yards gained.
So what he was trying, I assume what he was trying to signal was Jaheim Dowd was locking up one of the receivers, but because he wanted that receiver to release, the quarterback thought it was going to be a holding call, but they consider that a block because it's within 5 yards and the quarterback scrambling. No call. Excellent heads-up play by Jaheim Dowd to take the receiver away.
Raiders have to convert this 4th down to have any chance at all. Morgan rolls out to his right, and he's being pursued, and the pass incomplete on the sideline, so that's going to be a turnover on down. Tennyson Dean chasing the quarterback down, trying to catch up to him and forced a throw that Morgan probably didn't want to make in that setting, but had no option.
And that was Cade Erickson with the breakup on the pass, our very own.
Our very own Cade Erickson. Mom's up here in the booth doing a little dance. Dad's probably down on the sideline doing a little dance, so that sideline camera may be bouncing around a little bit. Good to see Cade Erickson make a huge play. Now Georgetown can start to milk this clock, but the Raiders do have 3 timeouts left. They can stop this clock, but a couple of first downs and this game is iced. 21-point lead for the Eagles, 35-14 with 4 minutes, 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And it is not Petter in the backfield on this play, so for now, his 1,000-yard campaign will have to wait.
Petter?
Petter? Oh, no, Jet Walker. Jet Walker's in there.
Yay, I'm not the only one. Handoff goes to 20, Luke Livingston. He tries the outside, doesn't get outside, but he does stay in bounds, so that's going to keep the clock running. Good job there of getting down. Gain of a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 9, and I am so appreciative of Holden saying that.
I fell apart.
Yeah. I got a little concerned because it's like there may be an eligibility question here that the UIL has something to say about. 4:20 left in the game. Clock is running. No timeout yet by the Rouse Raiders, and Georgetown has taken plenty of time. 12 seconds left on the play clock, so they will run that play clock as far as they possibly can to run time off of the game clock. 4 minutes now in the fourth quarter. McDougal takes the handoff, takes the snap, and he hands the ball off to Elijah Callaghan, who's able to gain a couple of yards. So that's going to make it 3rd and 5, and I'm kind of surprised Rouse is not taking some timeouts right now and trying to do something about this lead that Georgetown has, but looks like they're going to be contented with what looks like a result that they have come to grips with.
It looks like Darius Rockmore, 35, in the backfield now. So they're subbing a lot of these running backs.
One receiver out to the right, 2 to the left, but in tight. McDougal takes the snap, and we are going to see a lot of the running game. 35 goes right up the middle across the first down line to gain, down to about the Rouse Raider 37-yard line, and that is a borrow from Morrow. First down for your Eagles.
And Darius is a very talented player. He's just getting his first reps at the varsity level right now, but you're looking at the future running back of the Georgetown varsity football team right now.
2:56 and the clock is running in the Mesquite Creek Outfitters fourth quarter. Time running out, and this is going to be another Georgetown victory to take them to 2-1 in district play. And this is what we were talking about earlier. We start to see some separation now. Tight end goes into motion to the right side of the line, and we are going to get a false start on the Eagles, which is going to cost them 5 yards and stop the clock. So with 2:32 left in the fourth quarter, Georgetown backs up 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Eagles on this next snap. And I'll imagine a couple of snaps, and then we'll start taking a knee and get out of here with a much needed victory. Score, 21-point lead for Georgetown, but Rouse has really fought hard in this game and thrown a challenge down at the feet of these Eagles. So they break the kind of huddle. McDougal waiting on the snap. Handoff goes up the middle, starts out to the left side, but crosses the original line, gets back to about where the original line of scrimmage was, so that's going to be 2nd and 10 with the clock now under 2 minutes. This quarter has also gone very quickly.
And that happens when you get a lot of run game that we're seeing from Georgetown, milking the clock, snapping the ball with about 2 seconds left on the play clock every single snap, trying to get out of here as fast as possible, but a very resounding victory here today. Rouse is a very good team, record aside. They lost to some very competent opponents, beat who they should have. They came in here with a very powerful record, powerful team, and Georgetown kind of handled them.
McDougal's in the backfield, got his running back to his left, 2 receivers to his right. Clock is running, under 1:20 now. Good solid run there by Elijah Callaghan, but he is hit hard at the 35-yard line. And that'll be a 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles, about to go under 1 minute here in the ball game.
And this should be the last 2 snaps. They'll snap it under 40 on the game clock, and the play clock will start at 40, so they won't need to snap it again. So these are the last 2 plays of the game.
Play clock down to 17 seconds, 50 on the game clock, so should be able to run one more play and then call it a night for the Eagles. McDougal's still in as quarterback, takes a snap, hands the ball off. Of course, a running play. 23 bounces outside, and he is gone, just trying to run the clock out, and Elijah Callaghan takes it to the house to increase this lead with 27 seconds left. You're expecting a quick tackle and the clock to run, but Callaghan bounces it out to the left through some wide open blocks by that offensive line, puts it in the end zone, and that makes it 41-14 for your Georgetown Eagles with 27 seconds left in this ball game. What a run by Callaghan.
And like Tom Bowers pointed out in the comments, that touchdown might seem kind of inconsequential, but point differential is a deciding factor in seeding down the line, so that touchdown might have some big impact down the season.
Well, the problem is I think it's only 17 points is the most you can get in that, but we'll check with that. But a good point made there. Extra point kick is up, and it is good. That makes it 42-14. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Georgetown Eagle football right after.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Brightside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Brightside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Brightside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Brightside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Brightside and stay a while.
Here at John Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, Georgetown leads the Rouse Raiders 42-14 with 27 seconds left. And folks, don't be fooled by this score because this game was significantly closer to until Georgetown opened up a big lead in the fourth quarter. But this Rouse Raider team has put up a good fight, and I've been impressed with their quarterback. Low line drive kick fielded at the 10-yard line, picked up and crossed the 20, 25 to the 30, 35, 40, and gets across the 40-yard line to about the 43-yard line. That ball was carried by number 19?
Yes, number 19,
Yeah,
Davis Auburn.
Number 19, Davis Auburn. So Rouse will have their last possession starting there. 18 seconds left in the ball game.
Got to give a shout-out there to Braylon Westfall, the slot receiver on the tackle. Not often you see the small guy make this a big special teams play, but he came in clutch there, stopped that return.
So Morgan brings the Raider offense out for these final 18 seconds of the ball game. Anticipate a handoff here and run this clock out. Bounces outside, gets across midfield down to about the 42-yard line of Georgetown. It's going to temporarily stop the clock while they reset the change, but only 9 seconds left in this ball game. And Georgetown will head home with a much-needed district win to bring them to 2-1 on the season. This will drop Rouse to 1-2 in district play on the season. Final handoff goes right up the middle, brought down for a gain of about a half a yard, but that's going to do it. And your Georgetown Eagles have defeated the Rouse Raiders 42-14. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up the game here in just a few minutes. Stick with us.
The second quarter is brought to you by Aesthetic Dentistry of Georgetown. The mission and purpose of our team is to help provide quality of life with healthy and beautiful smiles. Determine if a highly trained cosmetic dentist is the best option for your smile. We are located at 3622 Williams Drive, Building 2 in Georgetown, Texas. Visit our webpage at www.aestheticdentistrygt.com or call 512-819-9100.
back to Georgetown Eagle football, brought to you by, powered by Graham and Sons. Hang on, we got a little technical difficulty here. Nah, that's not what we're looking for.
I believe in you.
Yeah, we'll get there. The final, 42-14 from John Gupton Stadium. An impressive performance tonight by the Georgetown offense, especially Jet Walker. What do our final stats look like, Holden?
Yeah, Walker was 21 carries for 256 yards and 4 big-time touchdowns, 12.2 a pop. And by my numbers, he is now 4 yards away from 1,000. We hoped he would get it in 6, but him even getting that in 7 is still a monumental achievement for him, for that offensive line, for the entire offense in general, being able to support a 1,000-yard rusher while still not being overly run-heavy. This was really their most run-heavy game of the season, and that was mostly because they played with a lead. It was in their benefit to kill the clock, take some time, and really, this has probably been, aside from last week, which was a little bit less competitive, their best performance of the season in a spot that they really needed it. Rouse was a good team at home, crowd at their back, and they came out and dominated.
All right, we await Coach's interview after this, and we will go to Jory for the interview with Coach Griffin. I think. Tell him to face the press box. Tell him to face the press box. Not hearing him. Well, microphone apparently died, so those batteries are done, but thanks anyhow. There we go. Now we got sound. Yeah, no, we did not. Well, what did Coach say?
The kids did great. All 3 facets of the game played super hard. The Rouse team pushed us like he expected, but the defense did a great job keeping that quarterback contained, and he's just super proud of everybody. And the score obviously does not reflect how good of a game that was.
I was very, very impressed with London Morgan, the quarterback from Rouse, and his ability to avoid trouble. He could have been sacked 4 or 5 times in this game, maybe 6 times in this game, but his escapability was exactly what the coach was talking about in the pregame show and also in the coach's show on Wednesday. Holden, your thoughts and some final stats.
My thoughts is that, like I said, this is probably the best performance we've seen both on offense and on defense. A little bit of issues on special teams regarding the kick returns. Rouse had a couple very good returns to get to the 30, the 40-yard line, especially towards the end there. But other than that, and the 2 main facets of the game, Georgetown played completely dominant at the line of scrimmage, which has been kind of the big question mark for a lot of years, was the offensive line, the defensive line. Can they hold up over the course of a season? And against a good Rouse Raider team, they were dominant. Like we said, with the rushing yards, he's 331 total rushing yards for this Georgetown team, whereas Rouse could only get it for 76 on 30 attempts. That's 2.5 a carry, well below average. And so you got to give a big shout out to the big boys up front. They got it done today.
They did, and did very well. I did want to mention before we get out of here tonight, we want to continue to remember Jason Pennington. He is a student at Georgetown High School, football player on one of the sub-varsity teams. Jason last Friday was involved in a motor vehicle crash, suffered some very serious injuries, and he is fighting a battle right now. So we continue to remember Jason and his family and his friends in our prayers as he continues the recovery after that crash. If you want to assist with that, you can go to the Georgetown Football Boosters Facebook page, and there's a link there where you can help with that. But if nothing else and you're so inclined, please offer up prayers on Jason's behalf. Nice young man, good young man, and we pray and hope only the best for him in that. And we wanted to mention that before we get out of here tonight. Impressive win by Georgetown. They take the Rouse Raiders 42-14 here at Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park. Next week, it is the Crosstown Classic. Georgetown versus the Eastview Patriots. The hometown rivalry goes full throttle next week, and that should be a very, very interesting ball game at the GISD Athletic Complex on Birkelback Field next Friday. We will be on the air live, 6:15 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. But before that, on Thursday night, join us out at Camp Brightside out Williams Drive near Ronald Reagan for the Eagle Nation Coaches Show that we bring to you every Thursday, sponsored by Camp Brightside. Great facility, great time. So come out, enjoy some good food, some good company, and let's talk some high school football. Holden, final thoughts.
My final thoughts, looking ahead to next week, Eastview, for the past couple of years, hasn't been quite as successful as I think a lot of their fans and a lot of the students expected them to be. But this year, they've got a very good squad. Right now, I see them down by 5 to Cedar Park, who is projected to currently be like the favorite in this district. So they are a tough team, a tough out for anybody, and especially in a rivalry game, anything's on the table, anything's possible. So a big-time test next week, and you know that environment is going to be crazy.
It's going to be hopping at the GISD Athletic Complex. Jory, if your microphone's working now, your final thoughts on this ball game.
Well, being down on the field with these players, there was an intensity the whole game. Everybody was locked in the whole game. Coaches had them hyped coming out of the halftime. So I think just focus, as both of those guys we interviewed yesterday were talking about focus being one of their biggest problems, they weren't lacking it tonight.
They were not lacking it tonight. Jory, we appreciate your work down on the sideline. Great job on that sideline camera for us.
Jory, what was your reaction to seeing Cade get that break up on the 4th down? Did you get a good image of that? Did you get a good look?
I did get a good look of it. I was happened to be just looking down the sideline. I wasn't doing my job as a cameraman. I was doing my job as a father. So, but yeah, big play, big play.
Well, Jory, you are suspended as a cameraman until next Friday. So, I think everybody can give you a pass on that, watching your son perform in a clutch moment like that. Outstanding. So congratulations to Cade and Jory and Maddie and all of them. It's fun watching these kids grow and play. Your final score tonight, Georgetown 42, Rouse 14. Georgetown getting the District 8 win tonight to stay second in the district standings and continue that fight towards a district title. Folks, we appreciate you joining us here on the SHN Sports Channel on YouTube. We are First Responder Broadcasting. I'm Kelly Duvall, joined by Holden Toom on play-by-play. David England on camera work tonight. We didn't have him on a microphone. Jory Erickson on the sideline, serving us well on the sideline. And Maddie Erickson up here in the booth helping us with the scoreboard and the clock. We appreciate that. But next week we will have Wally and Jerry Ann back with us. So we'll have the family back together for the big Crosstown Classic. Eastview Patriots versus the Georgetown Eagles. Should be a great ball game. We hope you can make it out to the stadium. If you can't, join us on YouTube for the live broadcast of that game. Folks, we appreciate you joining us. Hope you had a good time watching along with us tonight, as much as a good time we had bringing this ball game to you. Thank you. Thank you to all our sponsors. We will list them here at the end. Please, if you get the opportunity, send some business their way and let them know you appreciate their sponsorship of these broadcasts. For Holden Tuma, for David England, for Jory Erickson, for Maddie Erickson, and the whole gang with First Responder Broadcasting, thanks for joining us. It doesn't cost a dime to be kind. Eagle fight never dies.